Thank you. Chairperson, Public Investments Committee on Social Services, Administration and Agriculture, Wangwe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 5th August 2025. Reports of the Public Investments Committee on Social Services, Administration and Agriculture on its consideration of 1. The 5th report of the examination of financial statements of the following selected state corporations. 1. National Social Security Fund for financial year 2020-2021. 2. Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute financial years 2019-20 to 2020-21. 3. National Hospital Insurance Fund for financial year 2018-2019 to 2020-2021. And 4. Kenya Broadcasting Corporation for financial years 2013-14 to 2018-2019. 2. The 6th report of the examination of financial statements of the following selected state corporations. 1. Agrochemical and Food Company Limited, financial year 2015-16 to 2016-17. And 2. Kenya Animal Genetic Resource Center for financial year 2011-2012 to 2017-2018. 3. Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital for financial year 2015-16 to 2016-2017. And 4. Public Benefit Organization Regulatory Authority, formerly NGO Coordination Board, for financial year 1992-93 to 2006-2007. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, members. Before we go to order number 6, allow me to acknowledge in the Speaker's Gallery, Safa School from Garissa Township, Garissa, Mau Secondary School from Kuresoi, North Nakuru, and in the public gallery we have Gasharake Primary JSS Kinangop, Nyandarua, Creator View Ngata Academy from Rongai, Nakuru, Lavington United Church from Dagoretti North, Nairobi. Sorry, it's called Lavington United Church Academy from Dagoretti North, Nairobi, and Tembo Comprehensive School from Sotik, Bomet. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome all the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Thank you. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Okay. Chairperson, Special Funds.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that this House adopts the report of the Special Funds Accounts Committee on its consideration of the audited account for the Judiciary Mortgage Scheme Fund for the financial year 2011-2012, 2021-2022, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 5th August 2025. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Fatuma. Chairperson, Public Investments, Wangwe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that this House adopts the 5th report of the Public Investments Committee on Social Services, Administration and Agriculture on its examination of financial statements of the following state corporations laid on the table of the House on 5th August 2025. 1. National Social Security Fund for financial year 2020-21. 2. Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute financial year 2019-2020 to 2020-2021. And 3. National Hospital Insurance Fund for financial year 2018-2019 to 2020-21. And 4. Kenya Broadcasting Corporation for financial year 2013-2014 to 2018-2019. 2. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that this House adopts the 6th report of the Public Investments Committee on Social Services, Administration and Agriculture on its examination of financial statements of the following state corporations, laid on the table of the House on 5th August 2025. 1. Agrochemical and Food Company Limited for financial year 2015-2016 to 2016-2017. 2. Kenya Animal Genetic Resource Center for financial year 2011-2012 to 2017-2018. 3. Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital for financial year 2015-2016 to 2016-2017. And 4. Public Benefit Organization Regulatory Authority, formerly NGO Coordination Board, financial years 1992-93 to 2006-2007. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Wangwe. Members, the schools I acknowledged have been requested by the Honorable Kainan. I'll give you 1 minute to welcome the school from Kainan.
Yet.
They haven't come.
I'm told they're in the next lot.
Okay.
But there's no harm in welcoming this one.
Go ahead. 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I know the next group will have Elders Girls Secondary School. But may I take this opportunity, Mr. Speaker, because I've seen students from Fava Girls School from Garissa and many other students, to welcome them to Parliament. This is the house where critical decisions concerning our country is made. Welcome. See your legislators. This is their workstation. And I'm sure as you grow, this is where you belong to. Welcome to Parliament.
Thank you. Members, before we go to order number 7, let's dispose of orders 8, 9, and 10. Clerk. 9, 8, 9, 10, and 11.
Order number 8, motion, consideration of the Public Finance Management, Public Officers and Medical Fund Regulation 2024, question to be put.
Members on their feet, take your seats. Sirma, take your seats. Sigay, you freeze where you are. Honorable members, I now put the question at order number 8, which is that this House adopts the report of the Committee on Delegated Legislation on the consideration of the Public Finance Management, Public Officers, Medical Fund Regulations 2024, laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 24th July 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 24(4) of the Public Finance Management Act, Cap 412A, this House approves the Public Finance Management Public Officers Medical Fund Regulations published as legal notice number 195 of 2024. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Order number 9, the Kenya Roads Amendment number 3 Bill, National Assembly Bill number 34 of 2025, first reading. A bill for an act of Parliament to amend the Kenya Roads Act and for connected purposes. Order number 10, the Air Passenger Service Charge Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 35 of 2025, first reading. A bill for an act of Parliament to amend the Air Passenger Service Act and for connected purposes. Order number 11, the Privatization National Assembly Bill number 36 of 2025, the first reading. A bill for an act of Parliament to provide a regulatory framework for the privatization of public entities, to establish the Privatization Authority and for connected purposes. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Ocheng.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to a third note under Standing Order number 2259 D2 to pay tribute to the Honorable James Muhongo Barasa Muhongo, a member of County Assembly of Bungoma County Assembly, Chwele Kabuchai Ward, Bungoma County, who passed on, Mr. Speaker, just yesterday. Speaker, as you would know this better, this is your Member of County Assembly, and this House deeply condoles with you. Obo Baraza, the Speaker, began his political career in 2002 when he was nominated as councillor in the Bungoma County Council. He served diligently for 2 terms up to 2013, and following the advent of the devolved governance system, he successfully vied for the position of Member of County Assembly for Chwele Kabuchai Ward on a Ford Kenya party ticket. As it he retained for 3 consecutive terms, of course, because of yours truly on this matter. Until his demise, he was the chairperson of the Assembly Committee on Finance in the County Assembly of Bungoma. He was also the Ford Kenya party chairman in Kabuchai, where he led with integrity, commitment, loyalty, and dignity. The Late Honorable James Muhongo Baraza Muhongo will be fondly remembered as a dedicated and unwavering leader who consistently defended the interests of his people. On behalf of this House, Mr. Speaker, we extend our deepest condolences to the family of the late James Muhongo, his relatives, the people of Chwele Kabuchai Ward, and the big party Ford Kenya, and the entire nation. Honorable Speaker, additionally, members, you remember that 2 years ago, the Honorable Speaker read to us a very moving history of a member of staff of our parliament, Ms. Lucy Wanjohi, who had served parliament in the Hadsad department for over 30 years. We've sadly learned of Ms. Wanjohi's demise, and we condole with our family. May God give them strength this difficult time. Furthermore, Mr. Speaker, we also learned of the demise of Mr. Nzioki Mbiuva, who also retired recently from parliament service and who unfortunately has passed on just after his retirement. Mr. Speaker, this House condoles with the families of these retired officers of parliament, and may their souls rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Ocheng. Honorable members, you recall Lucy Wanjohi. She served this House diligently for a very long time and retired 2 years ago. Unfortunately, she passed on yesterday but one. A terrible loss to her family. And for those of you who came to condole with me when I lost my mother alongside my brother, the MP for Westlands, you met our area MCA, who has been part of our family and who has been elected non-stop from 2002. He unfortunately also was invited and is going to be with his maker yesterday but one. A very diligent young man. It's the only person among a few others I always wake up at 6 a.m. to go and vote for. Yes, Milemba? Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me join the family of the Honorable Muhongo to say poorly upon the loss of a veteran MC and politician in Bungoma, a member of the Ford Kenya Party, and a respected leader, because when I spoke to many of the leaders from Bungoma, they know him very well and have a lot of good reputation for him. And may God rest his soul in a good place. Honorable Speaker, on the 2 members of Parliament who passed on, that's Ms. Wanjohi, staff, thank you very much. The 2 staff members who passed on, Ms. Wanjohi and Mbiuki. I want to say that today I'm happy in the House Business Committee we were speaking about wellness, possibly having lost these 2 members just after retirement. Maybe Parliament should create a wing that can actually be dealing and talking to these members when they are going to retirement, and possibly in future even extend it to members when they have left, so that people can understand how to go outside there and deal with life after retirement. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the great people of Navajo and on behalf of myself, allow me, Honorable Speaker, to convey my heartfelt condolences to you and the entire Kabuchai community. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Muhongo is a person I knew personally one-on-one. Whenever we are in town, Bungoma, Honorable Speaker, and whenever even we could visit your home, Honorable Speaker, we could always interact with him. He is a person, together with the long-serving former MCA, the Honorable Majimbo, have had to be in charge of Bungoma County politics, Honorable Speaker, at the civic region, Honorable Speaker. This is one person who really knew everything in terms of politics. He was a staunch Ford Kenya member, and whenever you could sit with him, Honorable Speaker, he would want to associate himself with Ford Kenya, and all he said was about Ford Kenya. Honorable Speaker, I wish to really join you and mourning the great member. Honorable Speaker, for Lucy, she has been a person we worked together since 2013 when I joined this House, Honorable Speaker. She could record proceedings. She knew what to do. And Honorable Speaker, all I say, may God rest her soul in eternity. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Robert Bukose.
Honorable Speaker, allow me to join my colleagues in saying pole and to you and the people of Kabuchai for the loss of Honorable MCA James Muhongo. You know, Honorable Speaker, Trans Nzoia and Bungoma, we are neighbors. And when you get problems in Bungoma side or we get problems in Trans Nzoia, we feel each other. Therefore, we know this is a very difficult moment for the Fort Kenya fraternity, which is closely associated with the UDA. We are friends and we are partners. So we want to say pole. And also for the loss of Lucy Wanjohi, who was in the Hansard department in this parliament, may her soul rest in eternal peace.
Thank you. Tim Wanyonyi. I'll come to you.
Honorable Speaker, thank you. I wish to condole with the family of my good friend, my Bakoki, James Baraza Muhongo, a person that we grew up together. Honorable Speaker, and he has served the people of his ward diligently from the time you nominated him, and then he was elected 4 times. Mr. Speaker, he has been a very instrumental person in the Fort Kenya Party, and he has also been a very senior member of the Bungoma County Assembly. We wish to pray for his soul to rest in peace, and also pray for his family and the people that he represented diligently in the County Assembly of Bungoma. And for our staff member, Lucy Wanjohi, we condole and pray for her soul to rest in peace. May the good Lord give them rest in peace. Asante, Mr. Speaker.
Owen Bayer, I'll come to you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to join you and your family and the people of Bungoma in condoling for James Muhongo. Honorable Speaker, I want to say one thing about this. Chinua Achebe says that if you wash your hands well, you eat with kings. This particular MCA, I've had you speak in flowery language about him, that this is somebody who served well, he washed his hands well. And today, during his demise, we have the rare opportunity of paying tribute and condolence to an MCA actually in the National Assembly. It actually means, Honorable, he washed his hands well. But also, Honorable Speaker, there's one thing that comes out of this, loyalty. Loyalty. You said actually you wake up and you go to vote for him since that time. Honorable Speaker, there are many members of us here who we wouldn't even wake up to go and vote for the MCA that represents the ward that we come from because of loyalty. Or even you as Speaker, you have a member who is a member of your National Assembly from your constituency, and probably you wouldn't go to vote for him because of lack of loyalty. As politics has 2 things, interest and loyalty. And when we do that as members of parliament, then we move far in politics and stay on course. So, Honorable Speaker, as I wish the good Lord to keep his soul in eternal peace, I also want us to learn a good lesson from this good man that God has called. That one, loyalty, and two, washing your hands to eat with kings. I thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I wish that God rest his soul in eternal peace.
Thank you. Makale Mulu.
Yeah, thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to join my colleagues in conveying my sincere condolences on behalf of myself and behalf of the good people of Kitui Central to the three families. The family of the MCI Kapchai, the family of Luswa Joy, and the family of Mr. Zioki, the two of them were staffers of the Parliament. Honorable Speaker, it's unfortunate that we just lost the two staff members after their retirement, because this is the time they should have been serving themselves and their community. But the good Lord decided to invite them, and they accepted the invitation. So, Honorable Speaker, may their souls rest in eternal peace. Thank you so much.
Maungu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. Allow me to join my colleagues and the great people of Kapchai in sending my condolences on my own behalf and that of the great people of Luanda following the sudden loss of Mheshimiwa James Muhongo of Kabuchai. Honorable Speaker, I did interact with the late once or twice when I visited Bungoma, and I found him to be a man who was very warm, very welcoming, and quite humble. And therefore, to the great people of Kabuchai, I say pole for the great loss. I say pole to the family for the great loss.
Yes,
and to you, Mr. Speaker, because you've lost a chairman of Fort Kenya in the world. Also, Mr. Speaker, I didn't have an opportunity to meet Lucy, but from what I'm hearing that Lucy was a great lady who worked in this bunge, I actually say that may her soul rest in peace, and great pole to the family. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maungu. Ferdinand Wanyonyi.
Mr. Speaker, may I take this opportunity to pass my personal condolence to the family and the people of Kapchai for the passing on of, I call him my brother, James Barasa, because I knew him personally very well. We've had the elections there, and actually he has interacted with the people and was a very straightforward person. I think we're going to miss somebody in the party, and being a deputy party leader for the Kenya, and we have people from Trans Nzoia, we want to say pole to the family, and may his soul rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you. We can stop there. Thank you very much, David Ocheng, for bringing to the floor the matter of Lucy, James, and the other officer. Like I said, James Barasa Muhongo was more than my MCA. He was like a son, he was like a kid brother, and he was always part of our life. May their souls rest in eternal peace. Next, Chairperson Select Committee on NGCDF, Musa Sirma.
Mr. Speaker, last week, a member rose in the House and asked for a statement on the issue of e-GPS. Mr. Speaker, on introduction, is the government of Kenya, through the National Treasury, has embarked on the full-scale implementation of the e-government procurement system in alignment with the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015 and its attendant regulations 2020. The directive aims to enhance transparency, accountability, fairness, equity, equality, cost effectiveness, and efficiency in public procurement processes across all levels of government. The status of implementation, Mr. Speaker, the significant progress has been made in the rollout of the eGPS platform. Supplier and procuring entity onboarding, the National Treasury has successfully onboarded both suppliers and procuring entities into the EGPS platform, creating a centralized digital system for all of procurement activities. On the capacity building, targeted training has been conducted for cluster groups across both the national and county governments. These training sessions are ongoing to ensure that all stakeholders are fully conversant with the operational functionalities of the system. On engagement with the board, Mr. Speaker, the National Government Constituency Development Fund Board has actively engaged both the Public Procurement Regulatory Authority, that is PPRA, and the National Treasury. These engagements have helped highlight the unique operational structure of the fund in relation to EGPS and integration. In the consultative dialogue, Mr. Speaker, the board is awaiting a high-level consultative meeting with the National Treasury to ensure that the unique requirements of the NGCDF are adequately incorporated into the EGPS framework. This includes tailoring specific modules to reflect constituency-based project implementation. On the nationwide rollout to constituencies, the NGCDF board is consulting with the National Treasury with a view of training and onboarding all the 290 constituencies into the EGPS platform. This phased approach will ensure effective adoption and seamless transition from manual to electronic procurement. Mr. Speaker, the Office of the President and National Treasury, via circular reference OP/CAB 62A and reference NT/PPD/1/3/14, volume 4, dated 5th of June 2025 and 26th March 2025 respectively, communicated the transition to the roll to and roll out of the Government of Kenya end-to-end electronic government procurement system from the 1st of July 2025. Effective 1st of July, it is expected that all procurement proceedings, including those processed through the use of framework agreement contracts for financial year 2025-2026 going forward, shall be carried out through the EGPS. Benefits of the GPS system. The EGPS system offers numerous strategic and operational advantages. Transparency and accountability. All procurement processes are logged and traceable, minimizing the risk of corruption and manipulation. Efficiency and timeliness. Automation of procurement activities reduces bureaucratic delays and enhances service delivery. Cost saving. Digital transaction reduce paperwork, printing, and administrative overheads. Improve supplier access and competition. The platform opens up procurement opportunities for a wider pool of suppliers, particularly SMEs, enhancing competitiveness and value for money. Real-time monitoring and reporting. The system supports real-time analytics and dashboard that aids in decision-making and oversight by Parliament and other oversight bodies. Auditability and compliance. The EGPS provides a structured audit trail and ensures adherence to procurement regulation and threshold. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, in order to comprehensively address the concern on the effects of transitioning to EGPS on the operation of NGCDF, the National Assembly Select Committee on NGCDF intends to invite the Principal Secretary, National Treasury, to come and shed more light on the pertinent issues. Mr. Speaker, I think most of the constituencies or the CDFCs, the procurement entities are, yes. I wanted to give a better explanation also. Mr. Speaker, thank you, and that's the statement. Thank you. Yeah?
You don't issue a statement and start debating it. So you end where the reading ends. And thank you very much. Honorable members, we have Hold Donya. I want to acknowledge in the public gallery, Kenyenye Junior School from Bomachoge, Kisii, Disciples of Mercy Junior School from Kisumu East, Kisumu, Kapsere Academy from Keio South, Elgeyo Marakwet, and in the Speaker's Gallery, Kamaget Secondary School from Chepalungu, Bomet. I've been requested by a few members. I'll give them a minute each, starting with Shakil. After Shakil, Barongo. After Barongo, Mandazi. 1 minute each.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. Honorable Speaker, it's a great honor for us to welcome the Disciples of Mercy. The children are here, 71 of them from Kisumu East. And as a member of Parliament, I'm very pleased that they've been able to make it here to see for themselves what Parliament does. Thank you very much, and we welcome Disciples of Mercy, Kisumu East, to Parliament. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to welcome Kenyenye Junior, one of the best schools I have in my constituency, Bomachoge, Borabu. I want to congratulate you for continuing to post excellent results in your academics. And I want to ask you to continue to dream big, to use this experience and this visit here to continue to work hard and to ready yourselves for the leadership that awaits you of our great country. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker, and the Clerk's Office for facilitating this visit. I hope you continue to enjoy the rest of your visit within the Parliament chambers. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker.
Mandazi, Honorable Mandazi.
Yeah, thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Allow me as well to appreciate you for the opportunity to welcome the students who have come to visit Parliament. And specifically, Speaker, in your gallery, allow me to welcome Kamaget Day Secondary School from Chepaluku constituency in Bomet County. This school is a day school, Mr. Speaker, and as a large population, it's one of the day schools that is known for discipline. It's one of the day schools that is known for great performance, as indicated by a good number or a population. So, Speaker, allow me to join my colleagues in welcoming all students and to as well wish all the students from Chepaluku constituency, together with Kamaget, who are here today, who are preparing to sit for the exams in their third term. And to that also, Mr. Speaker, allow me to extend my best wishes to all the Form 4s who are sitting for the exams later this year. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you on my behalf and on behalf of the House. We welcome all the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Omboko Milemba.
Honorable Speaker, thank you. I rise on a point of order. Really, now that the students are actually in Parliament and the teachers, now we have the drama national festivals in Meru. And ordinarily, Honorable Speaker, the schools that qualify for drama at that level are sponsored by regional organizations of the Ministry of Education. But as it is now, Honorable Members, all those schools in your constituencies don't have facilitation to travel to Meru. And there's no communication from the Ministry of Education whatsoever. Yes, last week, we were talking about capitation in schools. Honorable Speaker, of the capitation that goes to schools, 1,750 is taken and retained in the ministry for the purposes of such functions, including drama and games. Could the chair of education, if it's in the House, Or could you please, Honorable Speaker, direct that the Ministry of Education releases those funds to the many schools which are now on the road, ECD students, primary, secondary, struggling to get to Meru without any funds. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Owned on the same thing?
Speaker, indeed, many of us who are here today have received a lot of calls and representation to assist the schools attend the functions or the activities in Meru. In my constituency, Honorable Speaker, I have a school, specifically Mudi Awori Primary School, that is taking about 70 learners to participate in the functions activities in Meru. And they have no money at all, completely nothing. Even up to today morning, they were traveling to Meru, they got stranded, they didn't have enough fuel. We have had to undertake other means of raising funds for that activity. We wonder where the money for activities goes to. Honorable Speaker, there's an emerging bad habit in the education sector from the Ministry of Education, where every single coin that comes to the schools is milked away by the sub-county education office, county education office, regional education office, leaving the schools with literally nothing, Honorable Speaker. We want to request the Committee on Education to seriously review this matter, put to account every single cent that's supposed to come as capitation. It was never supposed to enrich the education officers, education officials, and leave the students and the schools suffering immensely. It's a national shame. It's an embarrassment to have kids as young as 7 years, 8 years, getting stranded, going to live very inhumane conditions when they go to represent their schools, to showcase the talent of this country. Honorable Speaker, we need your intervention. Thank you.
Chiforomondo, Mangale.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This issue has come at the right time, where our kids are supposed to go and showcase their talents. But it's so unfortunate that I thought it was an issue which was affecting my constituency, because there are two schools which I know have contributed some money. That is Mwamose Primary School and Menzamonye Primary School. They couldn't actually ferry the kids to Meru. But, Mr. Speaker, the parents are also contributing some money for the activities. The ministry is also sending money for activities. Now, it is so absurd to stand before this house, members are lamenting about the same, that our kids could not be ferried to Meru for the same. Mr. Speaker, this issue needs to be taken with a lot of seriousness, because our kids need to expedite and show their talents. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Donya.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Things inform other things. I think, Mr. Speaker, it's a high time we debated on the challenges that are in our schools. Now we are discussing about their facilitation for music festival, Mr. Speaker, but other key issues which affect our learners, Mr. Speaker, are not spoken about. For example, we take our children to school, they are glittering, they are okay. When they come back, their uniforms barely fit them, Mr. Speaker. I don't know if it is the problem with feeding or they are under duress, including the time of waking up, Mr. Speaker. I can tell you for free, I know of a school where they wake up at 3:30 and they've slept at 11 doing their homework. So they are sleeping like 3.5 hours, Mr. Speaker, while we know very well the time one should rest and the time one should be up. That whole confusion, Mr. Speaker, is the one even which has made students to now start banning the schools. They don't want to sit for the exams, Mr. Speaker, because of the pressure which they go through. Until today, 2025, Mr. Speaker, we have learners fetching water from the rivers. You know, this informs this. So we need, Mr. Speaker, to discuss the challenges that our children are facing in various schools, so that we can make education conducive for all, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Owen Bayer.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the Honorable Lomboko Milemba, being an educationist, and him having raised this is very important. Honorable Speaker, I want to say this, and the issues that have been raised by a professor there, my friend Oundo. Government sends money capitation to schools, Honorable Speaker. That includes activity money, examination, and all manner of funds that schools require. But what happens between the school, the ministry, and in between there, the sub-county education office and the education offices, all money gets wasted and taken away from schools from there. Schools receive money. The first thing, they get a letter from sub-county education office. Please bring 10 shillings per pupil to the education office for activities. Bring 100 shillings at the county education office for this. Bring 300 shillings for the regional office for this. And yet when the time for activity comes, Honorable Speaker, that there is no money to sponsor students. Now they come back to members of parliament and say, we don't have money, we have qualified for nationals or regional. Now members of parliament, please give us money. And yet government sent money. And for, Honorable Speaker, the education committee in this house must investigate this. Because all the time money goes to school is taken away by this education, and they put them in some special accounts, they withdraw the money and feast. And then parents are requested to send money to schools to sponsor activities. Honorable Speaker, as Speaker of this House, a respectable member of this society and of this country, you need to give direction. Direction in the sense that the Committee for Education needs to investigate this matter. Otherwise, our students are suffering. You are told they have reached Kibwezi and they have no fuel for the bus, and you have to send money for the kids to be rescued. The kids are sleeping hungry at the festival. The kids don't have a place to sleep at the festival because education officers who have made it their passion to take away money from schools when it is disbursed. This, Honorable Speaker, must stop as a country. And we are putting so much money in education, but it is not helping learners. It is helping a few disgruntled and a few corrupt education officers, county education officers, regional education officers who are taking away all this money to go to hotels, stay in hotels and hold seminars and all that and finish the money. Honorable Speaker, we need a stop to this man. Our kids are entitled to attend these festivals, and government can sponsor them and government can give them money for the whole period. Honorable Speaker, as a House, we need to take a position. I thank you.
Honorable members, you are the authority. If members of parliament are crying, what will members of the public do? You have the power to summon the minister here or to your committees and prosecute this agenda in his presence and hold him to account. That is what the Constitution and standing orders give you. If you want to call the minister, how many students are in Meru? Yes, Milemba.
In Meru is a full house of all students.
That does not answer the question. How many students are there?
Thousands of students, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Owen Bayer.
There are thousands of students in Meru, Honorable Speaker, and there were thousands in Kakamega for the ball games. You know, and Honorable Speaker, I think I want to request you and request this House that tomorrow the Minister for Education appears here to actually come and answer and respond to that question. How have students been facilitated to be in Meru, to be taken care of, and to be returned home without having to have those kind of problems? I request you, Honorable Speaker, that the Minister be called to the House.
Honorable Owen Bayer, you are the Deputy Majority Leader. I direct you to cause the Minister for Education to be here tomorrow at exactly 3.
Thank you.
I'll give you 1 hour before we go to Murkomen to answer scheduled questions.
Much obliged, Honorable Speaker.
In fact, if you can get him here at 2:30,
yes,
I'll finish the preliminaries in 15 minutes and give him 1 hour to respond to this singular issue.
Okay.
Before we go to the Minister for Internal Security.
Much obliged, Honorable Speaker. I'll do as
The
you
matter will
direct.
rest there. Yes, Oloch, on the same issue?
Yes, I just wanted so that we frame issues for the minister as he comes tomorrow. May we be able to know exactly how much of the capitation money per students that we allocate every year is hived off to go to the sub-county directors, and how much cumulatively is that for the financial year 24-25, and under what instructions? Because program-based budgets, or the budgets that we give, are ring-fenced for capitation for schools. Under what law or authority are they redirected to these directors of education? Thank you.
Yes, we'll, Maungu, I thought I've given direction. Is that Maungu or Chonga? You look alike. Let's hear Chonga. Eh? Chonga, there's a microphone on your left.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, my question is a bit different. It relates to the statement that has been read by Moses Sirma.
By?
Mheshimiwa Sirma.
See,
issue...
let's dispose of education first. Take your seat.
Thank you.
Members, those of you who have issues on that issue of students, I personally have been requested by many schools and have made huge contributions to help children go to Meru for some event. It's not quite clear what it is. Is it a choir or something? Yes. So, Owen Bayer, have the minister here. Tomorrow you'll have 2 ministers. I know your majority leader is not around. So ensure that Minister Migoso Gamba is here at 2:45, and then Murkomen at 3:45, or at least by 3:30. I'm not part of that phone.
Thank you.
Yes. Next, Chief Oromon, Chonga. Yes, Chonga.
Yeah, thank you, Speaker. I listened to Mheshimiwa Chair, NGCDF, and indeed...
Is he here?
Yes, he's in. He's in. Indeed, the control that he has come up to put all the procurement on EGPS are very, very essential, because most of the members of parliament are not actually consulted in some of the operations of the board. But there are 2 things I've observed, Chair, which I feel I need some clarification from the Chair. Mr. Speaker. As much as I fully agree with the arrangement that has come up with, I did not hear him addressing issues of emergency. Like, for instance, right now, I have 2 schools have been closed because of the long rains. The toilets have sunk. I have 2 schools which the roofs have been blown off. And we are saying, as much as we have the funds for emergency, we cannot repair, and there's nothing that can be done because of this system. I wish, as much as we embrace this system, there could be some guidelines on how we can intervene in cases like the ones I am in right now. Yesterday I was faced with 2 schools which have been closed because they don't have toilets. I wish I could get some clarification on how we can intervene in some of these cases. Thank you, Chair.
Are you wishing to get clarification, or you are asking for clarification?
I'm asking for clarification, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Musa Sirma.
Mr. Speaker, those issues are part of the issues we are calling the PS for National Treasury and PPRA. Mr. Speaker, the issues raised by Honorable Chonga are so valid, and it raises concerns because we are talking about the PMCs, that is the Project Management Committee, who may not be able to understand this issue of e-procurement, and also the emergencies which do come up. Mr. Speaker, we hope to resolve those issues when we have a sitting with the PS Treasury and PPRA on issues we can be able to be to do without having to go through that process.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Honorable Chonga, you can go and prosecute your concerns before the committee when the responsible officers appear. Honorable members, allow me to acknowledge in the public gallery Kotolengo Boarding JSS School from Igembe, North Meru. In the Speaker's Gallery, Lesos Educational Center from Lesos in Nandi, and Gadesimane Christian Academy from Moiben was in Gishu. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. We'll now go to statements. Umulher Harun. Request for statements.
Thank you, Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I wish to request for a statement from the Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Communication, Information, Innovation regarding the allocation and implementation of the Universal Service Fund. Honorable Speaker, the Universal Service Fund was established under Section 84J of the Kenya Information and Communication Act, GAP 411A, and is administered by the Communication Authority of Kenya. The core purpose of the fund is to support the widespread availability of information and communication technology services and to promote capacity building and innovation in ICT across the country. Access to digital and communication services is a critical enabler of socio-economic development. The strategic deployment of the USF aims to enhance digital connectivity in key economic sectors by ensuring equitable access to learning materials, government services, and digital health services, which is especially important in remote and underserved regions. Honorable Speaker, despite these noble goals, there is limited information publicly available on the progress, funding, allocation, and specific areas benefiting from the USF. It is therefore against this backdrop that I seek a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Communication, Information, and Innovation on the following: a detailed breakdown on how the Universal Service Fund has been utilized to date, including financial agreements and collaborations, particularly with the Kenya Power and Lighting Company, specific plans and implementation frameworks that the Ministry is putting in place to ensure equitable access, effective penetration, and sustainability of the USF initiatives, especially in underserved and marginalized regions, and status of the access centers or digital hubs that have been established so far under the Universal Service Fund, with details on their locations and operational status, particularly in hard-to-reach areas. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Harun. Chair, Communication, Information, and Innovation. Any member of that committee? Majority Leader informed the committee chair to bring a response in 2 weeks. But since we are going on recess next week, on the first week upon resumption, Samuel Arama.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44.2/C, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee of Environment, Forestry and Mining regarding the environmental and socio-economic impact of raising water levels in Lake Nakuru. Honorable Speaker, in recent years, Lake Nakuru has experienced abnormal and sustained increases in water levels, resulting in widespread flooding that has severely affected surrounding communities, infrastructure, and ecosystems. The situation is so now dire that the flooding has submerged large portions portions of the Nakuru National Park and destroyed infrastructure, especially wildlife, and crippled the tourism sector. The overflow has also reached private farmlands and homesteads, converting them into waterlogged zones. However, what is even more alarming is the growing humanitarian crisis as families living near the lake have been displaced from their homes and farmlands, with no clear government mitigation or support being extended to them. The Kenya Wildlife Service has now prohibited local residents from fishing in the flood waters, citing conservation laws, even though the water now occupied what was once people's land. This has caused immense frustration and a further economic strain on the affected communities who are now landless, food insecure, and barred from using what little remains. Honorable Speaker, it is against background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Environment, Forestry and Mining on the following. 1. Immediate interventions in place to assist the displaced families and affected communities around Lake Nakuru, including resettlement and compensation. Number 2, step by the government to restore the catchment area and prevent further flooding, including reforestation, street control, and better land use practices. Number 3, reasons as to why the affected residents are prohibited from fishing in flood waters now occupying the private land, and a long-term strategies being developed to address the rise of water levels across the Rift Valley lakes, including Lake Nakuru. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Arama, my records show you are seeking for a statement from the Chair of Lands, but now you are saying you are seeking from the Chair of Environment. Which committee are you directing your statement to? Give him the mic.
Yeah, that's another one, Honorable Speaker. I'd asked for lands, and I think they were supposed to bring a response today. But this is another statement, yeah.
So if it's going to environment, Bowen, when can you bring a response? That is your committee, right? Or who is, eh? Yeah? Kawaya is not your committee. Where is Kawaya? Owen Bayer, inform the Chair Environment to bring a response first week upon resumption.
Much obliged, Honorable Speaker.
Responses to statement, Tongoyo to Omboko Milemba. Yes, who is Donya? Harun,
thank
switch
you,
off
Mr.
your
Speaker.
mic.
I had 3 statements, which I was informed they will give a response in 2 weeks, Mr. Speaker. Until today, I have not received the responses.
Which one?
From Treasury, I had an issue with NGAF. From Ministry of Agriculture on T-bonuses, and from Education on Kisi Mwalimu Sacco. All those 3 statements have not received their responses, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Owen Bayer, are the chairs here? Education, Agriculture, and yes, and Finance.
Unfortunately, all the chairs
All
are
the
not here. Are not here, Mr. Speaker.
Donya, you may raise your point of order tomorrow.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, Honorable Kiamba.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I also wish to put across a point of order. I requested for a statement from the chairperson on housing from the 13th March, and up to now I've not received responses. Honorable Speaker, I've gone to the table offices severally, and no response is coming. Kindly, can I be advised? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Owen Bayer.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think as I plan to follow up with the chairs on the same, but also we are colleagues here. Sometimes a member can just prod a chair and say, hey, where is my statement? And it can make work very, very easy.
But Honorable Owen Bayer.
Yes.
Order, members, take your seats. Order, members, take your seats. Honorable Owen Bayer, you can see as majority leader that more than 6 chairs of committees that have come in focus this afternoon are not in the House. And that is unacceptable. It is the duty, and I repeat, the duty of each member, more so those who have been given the privilege to chair committees, to be in this House when the House is sitting, more particularly when it is time to deal with issues from members to those committees. This order paper is published a day before, so you all have access online to know that as the chair of this committee, your matter is coming in the House, and you have to be here to respond.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I take your guidance, and I will guide the chairs so that they are here.
You are not going to guide them, you are going to cause them to be here. It's not a question of guidance, it's a responsibility and a duty.
Much obliged, Honorable Chair.
Yes. Yes.
On Thursday, Mr. Speaker, you directed the committee on select committee on diaspora affairs to give a response with regards to one Riziki, who was actually is actually in Jeddah police station in Saudi Arabia.
I remember the commitment, yes. The chair of diaspora, again, is not here. Owen Bayer.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, on the same matter, the chair of diaspora talked to me about it, briefed me about it, and she told me that the matter has been directed to the Committee on Defense and Foreign Affairs. That's the appropriate committee, so they are dealing with it.
Is Defense and Foreign Affairs here?
Unfortunately, no. But she's holding brief, yes.
Okay.
So you, probably she has the statement. Yes, the statement.
You have the statement. We'll come to it. Yes, Tongoyo, response to Omboko Milemba.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I do have it, Honorable Speaker, and this was in regards to the tragic fire tragedy at Makina area, Kibra, in Nairobi City. And Honorable Speaker, the member wanted to know the comprehensive report on the cause of fire accident and also the support, if any, given to the extended to the survivors, and the steps being taken by the government to expedite the release of DNA. And Honorable Speaker, I need your indulgence in this. This statement was around May around 25th. I mean, that is when actually the incidents happened. Honorable Speaker, given...
Sorry, what did you say? You want me to
indulge you? Honorable Speaker,
yes.
Because given the urgency of the matter,
yes,
of course we could not wait to this far. I took personal initiative, and the member who is my destimate here, to even actually reach out to the government chemist. We had the DNA released, and ever since the bodies have been buried, and because of course the families were going through agony. So I need you to indulge, Honorable Speaker, whether, I know it's still the record of the House, but we had actually covered a big ground with the member here concerning what the member exactly wanted to know. So I don't know whether I still need to read it.
You've shared with the Honorable Milemba?
Yeah, including personally reaching out to the government chemist when the incident happened to have the DNA done. Expedite, Honorable Speaker.
So is the statement ready or it isn't?
I have it here.
Yes.
I was asking whether it's still again relevant for me to read or
Milemba,
just
are you
table.
still interested in it being prosecuted publicly here?
Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the chair because on the comprehensive report about the cause of the fire, that's a matter that still rests with him. Because this fire was not specifically for my people only, but it can affect anybody else. But I want to say, Honorable Speaker, on the support for the families, he actually reached out and we were able to be supported not only by the leadership, but also the President himself gave a lot of support together with the Governor of Nairobi, yourself and other people. But I want to report that the disaster management department does not work because the support they promised, they could not do it. On the DNA, I must report that the chair did very well.
Milemba, you cannot comment on a statement that has not been presented. What I ask you is whether between yourselves you had agreed that it doesn't have to be presented. If it doesn't have to, then you have no business commenting on it. If it has to be presented, then you will be allowed to say what you are legitimately saying.
Honorable Speaker, he needs to
go ahead and present the statement.
To execute this reply.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Well guided. I was just trying to notify you that much has already been covered. But nevertheless, Honorable Speaker, in response to the said statement, I want to respond as follows. On the 24th May, about 5:30 hours, members of the public reported the outbreak of the fire at Kibra's police station, VIDO bin number 8-24-5 of 2025. On arrival, police officers established that a huge fire was raging and consuming several houses. The officers conducted the National Disaster Management Unit and Nairobi County Fire and Disaster Management Team. The immediate rescue operation were initiated and the area was cordoned off to prevent further danger to the onlookers and the neighboring residents. The Nairobi County Fire and Disaster Management Team arrived shortly, and with their intervention, the fire was successfully put out at around 6:26 hours. Victims who sustained injuries were evacuated to various hospitals by the Red Cross and the private ambulances, while those who succumbed to fire-related burns were taken to Nairobi Funeral Home. Inquiry file number 7 of 2025 was opened at Kibra Police Station and investigation commenced. The DCI crime scene team visited and documented the scene and collected all items of the evidential value for the forensic analysis. The preliminary investigation, Honorable Speaker, established that over 30 temporary dwellings, houses were razed down by the fire, resulting in death of 8 persons, 6 injuries, and disappearance of over 71 persons. And among the 8 deceased were Yvonne Anyonje, Stephen Anyimbo, Abdallah Ajab, Silas Ombima, Harrison Liala, Ernest Ombima, Gertrude Samisi, and Florence Ambani. And the following, Honorable Speaker, are the name of the victim who survived: Sabibu Ibrahim, Aisha Ajab, Leiden Harrison, Abdullah Karim Hussein, Gertrude Zvihigeni, and Charity Eva. Honorable Speaker, investigation team managed to get 10 witnesses who have since recorded statements. However, none of them has been able to identify the cause of death. The preliminary investigation from the Nairobi County Government Fire and Disaster Management attributed the cause of fire to an electrical fault. Given that most of the electricity connection in the area, Honorable Speaker, are as a result of illegal connections. However, a technical report from the Kenya Power is still pending. As such, the actual cause of death of fire remain undetermined. Efforts are in place to record additional statement from other victims who are currently undergoing treatment. These statements are expected to provide further insight into the investigation, and the matter is under active investigation pending expert report from the Kenya Power Investigation Team. On the second question, in regards to the support that is being offered, the survivors of the tragedy received comprehensive support, which included necessities, financial assistance, emergency medical care, psychosocial counseling. And this aid was drawn out by various well-wishers, including the national government, the Nairobi County government, the Kenya Red Cross, the local politician, as well put by the concerned member, and from the area, and other general philanthropists. On the third question on the issue of the DNA, Honorable Speaker, the DCI homicide team collected biological sample from the deceased at the Nairobi Funeral Home to facilitate the DNA profiling exercise. The samples were subsequently submitted to the government chemist for analysis. Upon completion of the DNA, results were successfully matched to the families of the deceased, facilitating accurate identification of all bodies. The postmortem examinations were then conducted, and the remains were subsequently released to their respective families for burial. So that was done as well. On the last question, on the issue of the measures being put in place, the following measures has been put in place to prevent similar tragedies in the informal settlement in future. The public awareness on legal electricity connections, enforcement against illegal and electricity connections, the National Police Service Rapid Response and Disaster Coordination Framework has put in place the mechanism to help prevent such occurrences in the future. The statement being signed by the Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, the CS for Interior, and Honorable Speaker, I submit.
The Honorable Umboko Milemba, MP.
Like I said, Honorable Speaker, I must start by thanking the chair because the chair did swing in action and he was able to be very, very helpful. On the first issue of a comprehensive report, that remains on his side because no comprehensive report has been given, but that's for the good and wellness of the entire country, so I hope he'll be doing something about that. On the issue of the support, we indeed, like he has indicated, we got a lot of support from His Excellency the President and other leaders across the country, including the Speaker, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, and other well-wishers. I want to report, Honorable Speaker, there's a disaster management unit in Nyayo House which is supposed to help such cases. But this particular one did not do anything and they kept on dodging around. I think some serious attention needs to be given to the disaster management office at Nyayo House because it does not work out to help Kenyans when they are in problems. And I think the chair should take note of that. Finally, on DNA, I must report that the chair really helped and called the authorities and were able to get DNA on time, and the victims of this fire were actually buried safely back in Emuhaya. And therefore, I want to thank the chair for having worked very closely with ourselves and the people in Emuhaya to have these people accorded a good send-off. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yeah, Honorable Omboko, you seem satisfied. Yeah, so the next statement, the Chair, Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation. A statement request by the Honorable Paul Abur. Where is the Honorable Paul Abur, MP for Rongo? Chair, Departmental Committee, Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation. In the absence of Honorable Paul Abur, you will lay the response at the table, unless there is something you critically want to say.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and most obliged.
Yes. So Honorable Abur can be informed to get that response. Next will be I'm not seeing the member saying point of order with clarity. That is Honorable Gonzirai. Yes, give him the mic.
Mr. Speaker, what I'm seeking is just directions because on Thursday I was actually promised that the Select Committee on Diaspora and Immigration was supposed to give actually a response to my statement. Now I've been informed that the matter was referred to defense. So,
yes,
there was a response which I was supposed to receive from Select Committee on Diaspora and Foreign Affairs, but I was given to understand that the matter was referred to defense. So I want to know actually when should I be receiving this response from the Minister of Defense and Foreign Affairs?
Yes, Honorable Gonzirai, I'm not seeing the chair for Defense, Foreign Relations and Intelligence. The Honorable Martha Wangari will represent the chair. Give Honorable Martha Wangari the mic so that we can get the response.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I was actually just trying to get your attention to what Honorable Gonzirai is speaking to, because it is not Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Workers. It is actually two different committees. So the committee that is supposed to bring the response is the Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations, and I had already spoken to him. We were meeting in the morning today, and we still don't have that response. We are still waiting from the ministry, and the moment he's here, it should be tabled as soon as possible, Mr. Speaker.
How long do you estimate it will take, Honorable Martha Wangari?
I would say by next week.
By next week?
Yes. Wednesday.
By when? Do we say by Wednesday or Thursday?
Well, we say Thursday, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, so by
Thursday next week.
By Thursday means if it is ready on Tuesday or Wednesday, it can still come, Honorable Gonzirai. I hope that satisfies. Yeah, so the next statement request, the request concerning the disappearance of Mr. Ruben Barua, response from the Committee in charge of Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations. The Honorable Mashua Waithaka is the Honorable member in the House. Is Honorable Mashua Waithaka MP for Kiambu in the House? Then going by tradition and precedent, Honorable Martha Wangari, you will table that report. Honorable Mashua will seek it out.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The statement is ready. We will table it as directed. And maybe, Mr. Speaker, because I'm on my feet, allow me to welcome the students that you see in the public gallery. They are students from a school called Woodard Secondary School. It is in Morindat Ward, in Gilgil constituency. And you can see there are quite a number, more than 100. This is one of the biggest and the largest we have day schools, Mr. Speaker, that even when you visit the school, looks like an academy, looks like a boarding school. They're actually elegant, not just the way they look, but also in terms of education. So allow me to welcome them to the House as their Member of Parliament to observe the proceedings of this House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Martha Wangari, and I hope they work hard as you do. All those students are welcome to the National Assembly, over which Honorable Martha Wangari presides to observe the proceedings, and we wish you well in your studies. The next statement request. This one was the request by the Honorable Peter Masara to the Departmental Committee on Education. Do we have the response? Do we have any member representing the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education, or the Honorable Clive Gisario? Where is Honorable Peter Masara, MP? Yes, Honorable Peter Masara is present. Please proceed and respond.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would like to respond to request of our statement regarding capitation to schools, textbook ratio and early childhood education program sought by Honorable Peter Masara, MP. Plans to increase capitation for both primary and secondary schools. The approved capitation rate to be provided by the government under the free primary education program is Kenya shillings 1,420 per learner per year. The approved rate for junior school is Kenya shillings 15,042 per learner per year. The approved rate under the free day secondary education program is Kenya shillings 22,244 per learner per year. The Presidential Working Party on Education Reform recommended the review of these rates to reflect the current cost of education. For primary school, the recommended rate is Kenya shillings 2,238 per year. For junior school, the recommended rate is Kenya shillings 15,043 per learner. For secondary school, the recommended rate is Kenya shillings 22,527 per learner. The enhancement of these rates will require additional budgetary allocation. It is to be noted that over the last 5 years, the funds provided to the Ministry of Education have fallen short of the current approved rate, leading to underfunding of the schools. The ministry is compelled to divide the available amount with the number of learners. This results in capitation amounts that are lower than the approved rate. To illustrate this, Table 1 shows the trends for the secondary schools as an example. Giving an example, the rate disbursed for financial year 2018-2019 was 21,140 and 45 cents. 2019-2020, 20,155.59. 2020-2021, 17,495 and 95 cents. 21-22, 17,401 and 86 cents. And for financial year 22-23, 17,456 and 72 cents. Thus, even as we work towards implementing the new rates of funding, as recommended by the Presidential Working Party on Education Reform, it is imperative to ensure that the current rates are met. We urge the August Committee to support us in this regard. A report on the ratio of textbooks to pupils in the country, the criteria used by the ministry to determine the ratio of textbook distribution, and measures taken to ensure an equitable ratio countrywide. The ministry, through the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, distributes books to learners across the country at the ratio of one core textbook per learner per subject. The table below indicates the distribution of textbooks to schools since the financial year 2017-2018. 2017-2018, the quantities ordered were 32,579,977. These were Form 1 to 4 secondary textbooks, Standard 7 to 8 textbooks, PP1 and 2 curriculum designs, Grade 3 course materials. 2018-2019, quantities ordered were 68,446,084. These were Form 1 to 4 secondary textbooks, Grade 1 to 3 core materials, SNE course materials, early years education, G4 and CDS. 2019-2020, 24 million books were ordered, 24,456,786. These were Grade 4 course materials, Grade 4 teachers' handbooks, Grade 4 SNE intermediate CDS, and T/HB standard 5 to 8 course materials. 2020-2021, 33,253,705. These were included previous set books, repeat standard 5 and 6, not EGS, Grade 5, CDS, and course materials. 2021-2022, we had 23,539,613. These included Grade 6 course materials and CDS, revised early years CDS, revised early years Swahili, and Kiswahili Grade 1 to 3. 2022 set books, Grade 5 SNE CDS. 2022-2023, we had 31 million books, 233,035. These included Grade 7 course materials and CDS, Grade 7 SNE materials, 2023 set books, Grade 5 and 6 adapted books, SNE G6, CDS, SNE upper primary. 2023-2024, 26 million books, 933,992. These included Grade 8 course materials and replenishment of secondary textbooks. Lastly, 2024-2025, 9 million books, 926,618. These included Grade 9 course materials. Grade 10 textbooks were reviewed and evaluated in April and May of this year. These will ensure that publishers have ample time to print and distribute books to public schools by the start of third term 2025. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable Peter Masara, you're satisfied?
Chairman, Speaker, thank you for this opportunity. First, Mr. Speaker, I want to bring to the attention of this House that something needs to be done in regard to statements and questions. This particular statement, I was in this House in early February this year. Up to now is when we are getting the response. If you look at the first question I asked about the capitation, the Presidential Working Committee agreed that the capitation need to be increased. And that was in February. Why it that we received this communication before the start of the budgetary cycle an increased amount will have been given to these schools, and that one cannot work now because already the budget has been passed, maybe in the first supplementary budget. Mr. Speaker, I'm not satisfied with the equation because if you can look at the response, it shows that for the last almost 8 years, the capitation for primary schools and secondary school has been constant, but the cost of living has been increasing each and every year. It means schools and the principals and the head teachers are really suffering outside there. It is the prerogative of these hours to allocate enough funds so that this issue of capitation can be sufficient to school. Mr. Speaker, a while ago, there was the issue raised by Mheshimiwa Omolemba on the music festival being done in Meru, where schools cannot be given money, cannot be given enough money to ferry students from their destination to the venue of this occasion. Mr. Speaker, these gaps as a result of funding. Therefore, these houses need to come up with a proper way of funding schools, both in primary, secondary, and even junior secondary school. Mr. Speaker, on the second question, you have the books he has mentioned that are being given to school. When I was invited by this committee, when the CS of Treasury and Education was there, they accepted that the number of students that are being used to do budget is not the actual number in schools. You realize that the Minister of Education is using the number of those who are in NEMIS. But back in schools, I gave example of several schools. Example, one of them was Horuba Keo, with a population of 1,600 students, yet the money being given for capitation is for only 500 students. That means the data we have as a country in terms of financing schools is not accurate. Therefore, the Minister of Education need to come up and tell us when they'll capture the actual number of students in school so that the capitation can be based on the actual number on the ground. Mr. Speaker, on that particular statement I thought was that there was supposed to be also an issue of ECD schools. This thing was done in February. By the time the committee was sitting, the minister in charge was telling us that they have not gotten a report from the Council of Governors. Mr. Speaker, the issue of ECD schools is a serious matter in this country. We cannot purport to be giving credible education system, yet the ECD system is not properly managed. So many schools, you get to a primary school, a ECD center with only one class, with three, we have a playgroup, PP1 and PP2, with one teacher, one classroom without toilet, a teacher who is not being paid. It is high time we, as members of parliament, come up with even a curriculum for ECD, a universal one, because you cannot tell me Turkana is having their curriculum, Migori is having their curriculum, Mombasa is having their different curriculum. The way they man their ECD is totally different. It is important that these houses come up, or the Minister of Education, to show us how our ECDs are being managed. ECD is a crucial aspect of education because this is the stage where the child is being, the developing in terms of academic starts from there. But when we leave it for everybody to do it the way they want, Mr. Speaker, we are leading this country to a real disaster in future. Time will come when these students who are in ECD now, who are not being capacitated well, are the doctors, are the engineers, are the teachers, are the MPs, and it means that such a time this country will be in a real problem. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I'm requesting this House to redirect the Committee of Education so that they can get a way forward for our students come next financial year. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, the Honorable Peter Masara, you've raised very critical matters concerning the education sector. Maybe just to indicate that the Speaker has already directed that the CS for Education will be in the House tomorrow to address that matter of capitation and also that other. So I wanted to say that because we will be having the Cabinet Secretary for Education here tomorrow, in as much as it is on that matter concerning the ferrying of our students, who are going for the National Schools Festival in Meru, we could raise this matter of capitation also as an issue. That is, if you are not satisfied.
Mr. Speaker, as I earlier alluded that I'm not satisfied, maybe tomorrow I can come up with a better answer that can satisfy the Kenyans people, because education is the key to everything in a country. Without a proper education, you can't have good managers, you can't have good speakers, you can't have good members of parliament. Therefore, this is a crucial issue which need to be addressed, and maybe the ministry can show us the way forward. Not only responding to what I requested in February, what have they done as per the current status of my question, Mr. Speaker? That will help people, teachers, and even parents to know that we are going toward the right direction. Thank you, Mr.
I
Speaker.
cannot agree more, Honorable Peter Masara. Honorable Kangogo Bowen, what do you want to add?
Mr. Speaker, I'm well guided by your direction because indeed, Honorable Speaker, I was making that suggestion that because the CS is coming tomorrow, we should include what the honorable member for Emuhaya and what the honorable member Masara, the two questions so that the CS can answer. Mr. Speaker, there is a serious discrepancy between the data which is in the Ministry of Education in terms of the number of students we have in Kenya, that is in NEMIS, and the real number of students we have in our schools. And Mr. Speaker, if you check in our supplementary one budget, Mr. Speaker, and the honorable member, Gaseru, who just read the statement, knows because he's the member of the committee, this House approved close to 100 million Kenya shillings, Honorable Speaker. Then, for enhancement of NEMIS, to make sure that every student in Kenya is captured. Because what the ministry is dispersing is completely different with the number of students. But Honorable Speaker, I don't want to say it might, because you've already directed that the CS, the Minister of Education, is coming to this House tomorrow. Mr. Speaker, we will ask him those questions. But what I want to ask all members of all of us in this House, if you go check what is in the NEMIS for your schools, the number of students in your schools, and what is in NEMIS, the discrepancy is huge, Honorable Speaker.
I thank you, honorable members. Why don't we leave it at that? The Honorable Wangwe, you want to say something?
Thank you,
Honorable Wangwe, I want you to say what you want to say after I recognize a number of institutions within the House. So in the Speaker's Gallery, we have Maramat Junior School from Kajiado North constituency, Kajiado County. And then in the public gallery, we have Kamview Secondary School from Manyata constituency, the Great Embu County, and Sakwesori Primary School from Runyenjes constituency, Embu County. All the pupils, students, their teachers, and institutions are welcome to the National Assembly to observe proceedings, even as they continue to learn. Yes, the Honorable Wangwe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to just also weigh in on this issue of the minister coming tomorrow with a specific issue, Honorable Speaker. The issue of NEMIS, Honorable Speaker, is a challenge. You find that, Honorable Speaker, a school, and I want to be very particular, Sirigoi Secondary School in my constituency, it had 480 students. When it came to entry into NEMIS, for them to get capitation, Honorable Speaker, they registered 18 students. But when it came to issuance of books, textbooks, Honorable Speaker, they issued textbooks for 480 students. The challenge, Honorable Speaker, is when it comes to trading with the ministry, the numbers come alive. When it comes to getting capitation from the ministry, the numbers die. Honorable Speaker, that's a challenge which the minister should unveil and tell this country what happens. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable Clive Gesario, lastly.
Maybe in future I'll be the minister. For now, I'm your colleague here. Speaker, I just want maybe to, on a point of information, so that the members tomorrow, when they're asking questions, they don't sound not to be in touch. As Honorable Kango said, this House did allocate 100 million. It was actually to move from NEMIS to the system now the ministry is using since July 1st, CHEMIS, so that at least we are updated. The NEMIS, they kept, when we raised the issues as a committee, they kept saying that it heavily relied on the birth certificate, which a number of children never had. And they did say that the CHEMIS was more inclusive and it did capture more students. The question is, how far are they in the implementing of that CHEMIS? That is maybe the best question that we can ask, because we do agree the discrepancies between the system and the number of students receiving capitation is quite adverse. Thank you, Speaker.
Yeah, thank you, Chair, for now of Education Committee, the Honorable Clive Gesario. Let the issue of capitation together with the matter concerning the travel of our students and pupils to the Meru National School be addressed by the Minister in charge of Education tomorrow. Do we have the response to the question that was asked by the Honorable Stephen Mogaka, MP? The Regional Development Committee Chair. The question was on the state of preparedness for the wet season. Proceed.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. This is a response to a statement regarding the state of preparedness for cyclical wet season in the Lake Victoria Basin, rain belt, as requested by the Honorable Stephen Mogaka, Member of Parliament for West Mugirango constituency. Now, Honorable Speaker, the first question sought was measures the government has put in place to ensure timely and effective information on hazardous weather is issued to the residents of West Mugirango constituency and other affected areas within the Lake Victoria rain belt. Now, Honorable Speaker, the response is as follows: that the government, through the Ministry of East African Community, the arid and semi-arid lands, that is ASALS and Regional Development, and other ministries, departments, and agencies, and partners have implemented several proactive measures to ensure timely and effective dissemination of weather-related warnings. They include the following, Honorable Speaker. One, in the Lake Basin, the initiatives are done through the Lake Basin Development Authority, LBDA, in collaboration with the Kenya Meteorological Department and other agencies, and these have been critical in safeguarding lives and livelihoods in West Mugirango constituency and the Greater Lake Victoria Basin. Number two, the government is working on strengthening early warning systems by enhancing its meteorological forecasting and early warning systems through, one, advanced weather monitoring technology, installation of automated weather stations across the Lake Victoria Basin to produce real-time weather data. Now, regional and county-based forecasting centers. Now, strengthening coordination between the Kenya Meteorological Department and regional agencies to generate localized and actionable weather forecasts. Number three, use of real-time information dissemination to ensure residents receive timely alerts. The government has deployed multiple channels for dissemination of hazardous weather information, including SMS alerts and mobile applications. Now, through partnerships with the mobile service providers, residents receive real-time weather updates via SMS alerts and mobile-based platforms. Community radio stations and public announcements, collaborating with the vernacular radio stations to provide daily weather forecasts in local languages is encouraged. Now, use of local media and the digital platforms. Dissemination of forecasts through official government and meteorological department social media pages. Number four, collaboration with local administrators and community networks, including use of local national government administrative officers, that is NGAO, to disseminate the information as they undertake their routine work in barasas and other fora. Chiefs and village elders are key pillars in the training and equipping of local administrators with timely meteorological updates for swift community-level dissemination. Religious and community-based organizations partnering with churches, mosques, and self-help groups to enhance the flow of weather-related information. Number 5, preparation of flood and disaster preparedness plans. Now, given the cyclical wet seasons that often lead to flooding and landslides in the Lake Victoria Basin, the government has taken proactive measures, including the following: construction and rehabilitation of drainage infrastructure, strengthening drainage systems to mitigate flooding in low-lying areas, evacuation plans and temporary shelters, pre-identification of safe evacuation zones, and establishment of emergency shelters for affected populations. Now, the government has pre-positioned sufficient essential relief supplies, items such as food, clean water, mosquito nets, and medical supplies in strategic locations. Capacity building and public awareness campaigns, including the following, Honorable Speaker: community sensitization programs, conducting awareness campaigns on the risks associated with hazardous weather and response measures, training of local disaster response teams, equipping community responders with basic skills in disaster management, first aid, and search and rescue operations. Number 7, strengthening the regional and cross-border coordination, recognizing that weather patterns in the Lake Victoria Basin affect multiple counties and neighboring countries. The government is working closely with the East African meteorological agencies, enhancing data sharing with Uganda and Tanzania for comprehensive forecasting. Lake Victoria Basin Commission, collaborating on joint research and response strategies. Number 8, the government remains committed to safeguarding the residents of West Mugirango and other affected areas in the Lake Victoria Basin by ensuring that timely and effective weather information reaches communities, allowing them to prepare adequately for hazardous weather events. These measures are crucial in enhancing resilience, reducing disaster risks, and protecting lives and property. Now, Honorable Speaker, I just want to scan out through this statement because I believe the member has already been given this statement. I just want to go, just scan through. So that the question number 2 was detailed report on the interventions being implemented by the government to ensure timely emergency response, including prepositioning of relief supplies, if any. Now, the response, Honorable Speaker, is as follows: that the government, through the Special Programs Directorate, now the State Department for Special Programs, in collaboration with other ministries, departments, and agencies, has put in place comprehensive emergency response mechanisms to address the impacts of the cyclical wet season in the Lake Victoria rain belt. These interventions are designed to mitigate the effects of heavy rainfall, flash floods, and landslides, ensuring that affected communities receive timely assistance and relief. Honorable Speaker, going to question number 3, long-term mitigation strategies that the government intends to adopt to address the recurrent disaster, including climate adaptation measures. Now, Honorable Speaker, the government recognizes the increasing frequency and severity of climate-related disasters in the country, particularly in vulnerable regions such as West Mugirango constituency and the broader Lake Victoria rain belt. In response to the State Department for Special Programs, the State Department for Special Programs, in collaboration with other ministries, departments, and agencies, has developed a suite of long-term mitigation strategies to strengthen resilience, reduce vulnerability, and enhance adaptive capacity at the face of cyclical wet seasons and associated hazards such as floods, landslides, waterborne diseases, outbreaks, and infrastructure degradation. Number 4, I think the last, Honorable Speaker, is measures being made. Honorable Speaker, after going through that, we have put in place measures that the government is doing. I don't want to go through them. I think the member will go through that. And then now, finally, number 4, Honorable Speaker, is that measures being made to educate and equip residents with knowledge on disaster management to improve the resilience. Now, the response, Honorable Speaker, is as follows, that the measures include the following. 1, community-based disaster risk education and awareness campaigns through sensitization drives, regularly conducting public barazas, village meetings, and school engagements aimed at raising awareness on disaster risks specific to the region, such as flash floods, landslides, and waterborne diseases outbreaks during the rainy season. Localized IEC materials, development and distribution of information, education and communication materials in local languages. For example, Ekegusi, Luo, Kiswahili, including posters, radio jingles, community drama, and mobile SMS alerts. Now, seasonal forecast dissemination, simplified weather forecasts, and advisories from the Kenya Meteorological Department are shared widely through local FM stations, chiefs, ward administrators, and digital platforms to help communities plan ahead. Now, training of community disaster management committees through formation and capacity building of these committees. In each ward, local disaster management committees are being trained on risk identification, emergency response, coordination, evacuation planning, and first aid. Simulation exercises and drills, periodic mock disaster response drills to test preparedness and coordination of residents, local leadership, and emergency response responders linkage with county and national structures. Now, integration of disaster risk reduction into school curricula and youth engagement. Now, for youth and women empowerment, specific training programs targeting youth and women groups on special disaster response techniques, including safe shelter management and water treatment during floods. Enhancing access to tools and equipment for community response. Now, provision of basic emergency kits, distribution of first aid kits, whistles, emergency lights, water purification tablets, and life jackets in flood-prone villages. Community resource centers, establishment of community information hubs equipped with disaster preparedness materials, internet access for weather updates and training resources. Now, finally, multi-sectoral partnerships and policy support. Now, collaborate training with MDS and NGOs, joint initiatives with the Ministry of Interior, Kenya Red Cross, National Drought Management Authority, NDMA, National Environmental Management Authority, NEMA, and county governments to deliver technical training, support drills, and enhance local disaster planning, policy and legal literacy, educating communities on their rights and responsibilities under national laws and policies such as the National Disaster Management Policy and the Climate Change Act. Now, Honorable Speaker, these measures aim not just at reducing vulnerability, but at fostering a culture of proactive risk management and preparedness among the local populations in the Lake Victoria rain belt. Through informed, equipped, and engaged communities, the government envisions a region that is climate resilient, response ready, the development secure. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Okay, the Honorable Stephen Mugaka, before you confirm whether you need any further clarification, let me recognize the following institutions seated at the public gallery. We have Balek B Secondary School from Bomet Central Constituency, Bomet County, and then we have St. Mary's Primary, and Junior School from Matayos constituency, Busia County. On my own behalf and on behalf of the National Assembly, all the students from those institutions, their teachers, are welcome to the National Assembly to observe parliamentary proceedings. The Honorable Stephen Mogaka now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to confirm that my fears of our lack of preparedness have actually been confirmed after reading and listening to the committee response to my concerns. Firstly, Mr. Speaker, I raised this concern quite ahead of the disaster that has already crystallized. And that was before the rains came. Okay. And therefore, the answer or the response is fast coming too late in the day and is so full of bombastic policy statements and not specific measures that are in place that will help avert or mitigate disaster. Mr. Speaker, it pains me that while this response was under preparation, my constituency was hit twice by thunder and lightning, and I lost 4 Kenyans in my constituency, and I had to go and attend a funeral where 3 siblings had lost their lives because of thunder and lightning. And hearing this response, that I don't want to use the word lies, but I want to say that is extremely misleading, that there are mitigation measures, that there are supplies given to victims of such disaster. Nothing came through for my constituency, which makes me extremely worried because this is a cyclical annual exercise that we go through. And looking at the storm water, because my constituency and Gusii region is essentially very hilly, the storm water wreaks havoc and brings down our muddy houses. And therefore, unless we get very specific indications on how we are going to deal with this, as we dealt with the Budalangi area with the floods, I mean, this vulnerability that happens every year and people register losses is a thing that should not be had 65 or 64 years into independence. Mr. Speaker, I would wish that you order this committee to go back and relook at what it is that they are doing to make Kenyans aware of the disaster arising from climate change, and in particular, the lake region, where cyclically we suffer thunderstorms, where we suffer a lot of storm water, where we suffer flooding, where we suffer all lots of illness associated with this. The government must be prepared to respond as it responds whenever hunger strikes or when drought strikes other areas, when livestock are in danger. We see responses, but here are humans in the line of danger annually, and there is no policy that actually responds. It is my humble request, Mr. Speaker, that you request the committee to relook, and I will also give them my supplementary concerns for purposes of giving very, very specific action plans rather than give us policy statements that I have heard and this House has been treated to this afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, the Chair, Regional Development. The Honorable Bogaka is requesting to appear before the committee with the heads of ministry and sectors concerned, so that this matter of disaster risks can be dealt with conclusively. What do you have to say?
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Chair. I think, now first of all, I want to agree with the member for West Mugirango that Now, from the time this statement was sought to now, it's quite some time. And probably between that time and now, many things have happened. And I want to say Pole for his constituents that lost lives because of this kind of disasters. We feel for the member and we feel for the people of Kenya that lost lives because either government did not adequately prepare in good time, and therefore, Honorable Speaker, before this House, we have a disaster risk management bill that is before this House, and I think if that comes into effect, it will attempt to address more effectively disaster management in this country. But having said that, Honorable Speaker, I think if you direct, we can still request the ministry to come before the committee, and we invite the Honorable member to come, because as it is now, I read the statement as was presented by the ministry, and he's almost confirming that whatever I'm reading here may not reflect what actually is on the ground, and therefore I think we will look for time and invite the ministry so that the Honorable
How long
come.
do you need to do so?
I don't know. Now that we are going for recess next week, I think we could do it the first week after we come from recess.
Okay.
Thank you.
Honorable Mogaka, that would be satisfactory so that the matter is interrogated.
Yes, that's fine. But my friend, Honorable Ferdinand, suffers the same problems. If you can kindly capture his...
The Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi, I wanted to request that you all appear before the committee so that we deal with the remaining statement requests and go to main business. Give Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi the mic for a minute.
Mr. Speaker, I just want to agree with the Honorable Member. I think other than waiting for disaster to happen, I'm from the Lake region, and this is a very critical issue. I just want my colleague here to take upon himself so can get the ministry concerned to be able to address this, because it's a matter of having equipment to be able to protect our people from the same. Apart from what my colleague has just said, I also lost 2 family members because of the lightning. And it's not something that we just want to talk and say, let's talk about it, let's plan for it. I think, Mr. Speaker, it's important that we actually, at this stage, pressurize my colleague who is actually in charge to get a ministry concerned to be able to look for the current equipment to be able to protect our people and the families from this lightning. It's happening everywhere, particularly in the Lake region, where I'm sure my speaker, you come from. Let's have this done other than waiting, calling the minister to come before us. Let's now pressurize whoever is to come up with preventive measures. I support my
Thank you, Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi. The Chair, Regional Development. Order, Honorable Liza Chelule. I'm talking with the Chair. So the Speaker is directing that you will convene a meeting within a month to address this matter conclusively. I reckon that the Parliament is going on recess, but Parliament never closes within the session. Would you confirm that? So that all these members with the various concerns can appear before you and have the issues addressed by the relevant ministry.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. We'll do as you have directed. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. As the question by the Honorable Mishi Mboko, the Chair, Transport and Infrastructure Committee, is to address that. The question concerning the status of upgrade of Likoni Ferry Crossing. Is Honorable Mishi Mboko in the House? The Honorable Mishi Mboko also serves as a commissioner. Yes, whoever is representing the chair of the relevant departmental committee should proceed and respond.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The member for Likoni, Honorable Mishi Mboko, requested for statement from the chairperson of Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the status of upgrading of Likoni ferry crossing, addressing the following issues. Measures put in place by the government to ensure safety and efficiency of ferry services, including an update on the status of the maintenance and the procurement plans for new ferries and upgrading of the existing vessels. Status of the construction of Mtongwe ramp in Likoni constituency, long-term strategies being put in place to provide sustainable and reliable maritime transport solution for residents of Mombasa County and business dependent on ferry services. Honorable Speaker, the committee received a written response from the Ministry of Roads and Transport, which I now wish to make on behalf of the Chair. Regarding the measures put in place by the government to ensure safety and efficiency of ferry services, including an update on the status of maintenance and procurement plans for the new ferries and the upgrade of the existing vessels, ferry services and the Likoni and Mtongwe channel to cater both pedestrians and vehicles. Honorable Speaker, since 2020-21, the pedestrian traffic has increased from 300,000 to 500,000 daily, while vehicle numbers have declined due to the Dongokundu bypass. Bicycle crossing range between 6,000 and 7,300. There are two key limitations that hinder expansion of the Likoni channel. One, Mr. Speaker, is the port activities. The challenge is shared with the maritime traffic, include port operations. Ships have priority, especially during peak hours, causing ferry operations to pause for about 10 minutes per ship movement. The second challenge and limitation is the channel size. The channel's width is about 500 meters, while ferry deployment is demand-driven. Simulations by the Kenya Ports Authority show that only up to 4 ferries can safely operate at a time due to increased maritime traffic, despite rising pedestrian numbers. Honorable Speaker, as a way of decongesting the ferry service and providing an alternate crossing, the Dongokundu bypass was constructed and operationalized in January 2025. As a result of this, vehicle traffic has significantly reduced by 41.7%, while pedestrian traffic increased by 13.7%. To address the rising pedestrian numbers and declining vehicle traffic,
Chair,
while maintaining...
How long is your response?
Probably another 4 minutes.
Another 4 minutes.
I can make highlights of the report.
If it is going longer than 4 minutes, I want to interrupt you to welcome a number of institutions to the House. But if it is exactly 4, please finish.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As a way of decongesting, to address the rising pedestrian numbers and declining vehicle traffic while maintaining safety and security under safety of life of seas, SOLAS, and international ship and port facility code standards, the ministry through KPA has taken several steps. One is deployment of ferries. Larger ferries, MV Jumbo, MV Safari, 4,000 capacity each, serves pedestrians, while smaller ferries, MV Kwale and MV Likoni, 2,500 persons capacity. Safety equipment has also been deployed. Life-saving and firefighting equipment are regularly serviced and maintained and replaced. Vessel inspection, annual surveys and inspection are conducted to ensure vessels meet passenger safety certification standard. Staff training, regular maintenance and preventive and corrective maintenance of ferries are always carried out. The security planning, crowd management control, new acquisition, 1 new passenger and vehicle ferry has been acquired. Infrastructure upgrade. Improvements include separating vehicular traffic flow, repairing the ramps and approaches, and upgrading the passenger waiting at Likoni Island. Honorable Speaker, each ferry is scheduled for 1-day maintenance program per week at night. Maintenance is carried out in preparation for the next day activities. A checklist is also maintained to be able to make sure that there is to ensure comprehensive maintenance of all equipment on board the vessel. Honorable Speaker, further also to that is the long-term maintenance program that involves dry docking of the ferries for underwater hull steel repairs. In the dry dock, comprehensive structural steel work, seawater system, and the main machinery repairs are carried out. On procurement plans, Honorable Speaker, for the new ferry, the Kenya Ports Authority contracted Kenya Shipyard to build one ferry. The details of the project are as follows. A contract number for the member, it is stated there. The project name is the Supply, Testing and Commissioning of one number vehicle passenger ferry. The description of the works to be undertaken is construction of roll-on, roll-off ferry of length overall minimum of 80 meters and a beam molded within minimum 20 meters with a car deck overhead of 4.5, carrying a capacity of 2,080 sedan vehicles. The contract period is expected to be 75 weeks, and the end delivery is April 2026, with a total estimated budget of $24.7. On upgrading of the existing ferry, and the ministry submitted that ferry machinery is upgraded from time to time to improve the efficiency and mitigate the machinery breakdown of aging and worn-out parts. Honorable Speaker, regarding the status of the construction of Mutongwe ramp in Likoni constituency, the ministry submitted that the construction of Mutongwe mainland ramp was completed and handed over to KPA in 2023. The facility is currently used as a yard for maintenance services of ferries, and the ferry services cannot resume until construction of Mutongwe Island ramp is done. Construction for Mutongwe Island ramp was factored in 23-24 budget, but could not be done because of the constraints. However, I want to inform the member that the 2025-2026 budget has made consideration for the same. Regarding the long-term strategies being put in place to provide sustainable and reliable maritime transport solution for residents of Mombasa County and business dependent on ferries, the ministry stated that it's addressing the challenges by ever-increasing numbers, particularly of passenger traffic. The port has put in place the following measures. 1, improvement and modernization of existing service. 2, diversion of both pedestrian and vehicular traffic, both to the Dongokundu bypass, which has reduced the traffic of vehicles at the ferry by almost 60%. The socio-economic improvement programs that would divert free and ease congestion at the Likoni Channel, including the construction of the export economic zone, where it will provide alternative employment opportunities other than Mombasa Island, development of a market in Likoni. This would impact around 10% of the ferry users during peak hours. The need to upgrade Likoni sub-county to a semi-urban status to allow for commercial and financial activities and services to be available within the region. The region is currently not attractive to investors since the land is not properly planned. Most of the land does not have title deeds. This would create employment and service provision and thus reduce the movement across the channel. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, is expansion of the ferry services to other unattended areas. That was the question, places and linkages with other coastal counties. The ministry, through its implementation agency, the KPA, plans to facilitate development of an integrated maritime system in Kenya. These include other coastal ferries and inland ferries, especially in Lake Turkana and Lake Victoria. A feasibility study will be commissioned has been planned for December 2025, with the aim of providing a framework for the most effective way to offer ferry services within the country. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Mishimboko, I'll come back to you after I welcome a number of institutions visiting the National Assembly. So in both the public gallery and the Speaker's gallery, we have Kapsabet Boys Junior School from Chesumei constituency in Nandi County. And then we have a school for which everything should stop when they are in the house. That is Ogande Girls National School from Homa Bay Town constituency, the Speaker's own constituency in Homa Bay County. On my own behalf and on behalf of the institution of Parliament, both schools are welcome to the National Assembly to observe proceedings. The Honorable Millie Odhiambo, I know that would not be enough if you never welcomed all the pupils and students. So the minority whip, give minority whip. The mic
thank you,
welcome the
Mr.
students on my behalf.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to welcome the students on your behalf. I wish to welcome the students of Kapsabet Boys, and I wish to welcome the girls from Uganda Girls. Of course, for obvious reasons, I have a bias towards Uganda Girls. One, because they're girls, and I'm also a girl. and two, because they come from Homa Bay County. And three, because two of my sisters are alumni of Uganda Girls. My sister Caroline Akinyi Odhiambo and my sister Roslyn Odhiambo are both alumni of Uganda Girls. So I used to visit them a lot in Uganda Girls when growing up. And it was one of the best schools, still is one of the best schools. Mr. Speaker, I just want to say, especially for the sake of the young ones who are here, and especially for the sake of the girls, that when I joined Parliament, I'm doing my 4th term now. When I joined Parliament, I was one of only 16 women in Parliament. And now we are almost 100. So when they see here, I noticed some of them when they came in. No, we have not yet met. We are almost not yet. But, Mr. Speaker, the things we take for granted, and we were speaking yesterday when we were celebrating the life of Honorable Phoebe Asio, an iconic woman also in Homa Bay, that I took. I was elected after a hiatus of anybody was elected in Homa Bay County. Was Phoebe Asio, then after Phoebe was me, 16, it took 16 years. But I want to tell the girls that when I came here, it was actually strange to see women in Parliament. But in my lifetime, I've seen that changing. And if we have reached this level, they can go beyond that. Whatever you want to be, you can be. It requires just hard work, commitment, and focus. And I want to finish by indicating, because this is not a debate, it's really just to welcome all of you, that a lot of people call me the bad girl. And a lot of people, young people, ask me why I'm called a bad girl. And I'll tell you why I'm called a bad girl. And you can also be a bad girl and a bad boy. I am bad because I do not conform to things that are retrogressive. I do not conform to culture that takes me backward. I do not conform to religious practices which are not even biblical, but which takes us backward. And I do not conform to peer pressure so that I can be called a good girl by my friends. So if you're listening here, whether you are a boy or a girl, do not conform to things that limit you and that will stop you from realizing your dreams. And the sky is the lower limit. I know when you look at us sometimes, because you are young, you do not know how to estimate ages. A lot of young people tell me sometimes I'm in my 30s. I'm in my 50s. Yes? Mentally, I'm in my 30s, yeah, but actual age, I'm in my 50s. But I've just gone back to school, and the reason I would have actually met them outside, the reason I'm leaving a little bit earlier is because I have class. So don't be stressed and worried about little things like doing maths and little things. You know, those things are very simple. Work hard, be focused, and you'll make it in life. Welcome to Parliament, and just look at how beautiful women from all over the country. We have Naisula here. You'll be hearing her speaking. From Samburu. We have Catherine here from Busia. Aika from Mombasa. Beatrice from Kericho. So we have Lillian from Trans Nzoia. Pasaris from Nairobi. Donya from Kisii. Jarusha from Nyamira. And there are many others. We have amazing, I've already said Aika from course. And Mishimboko, Commissioner Mishimboko. So can you imagine you have come into Parliament when there are powerful women? In my lifetime, we never saw such things. Not including you. You are a man. As we are dealing with women here, we are encouraging. And boys, don't feel let out. We love you as well, but we want our girls to reach where the men have been. Maybe just let me tell you one thing, Mr. Speaker, which is also encouraging to us as women. Yesterday, we were standing in the presence of greatness. Women trailblazers of this country. The first woman judge, the second woman judge, African woman judge. You know, retired Justice Effie, retired Joyce Salwaj. And the young women who are there, we were generations, from Gen Z to Alpha to I don't even know which other ones there. And one of the things we were told, the things we take for granted, that we say, I'm going to do a fundraiser for a women's group. They said a sessional paper was passed to allow women to form groups. When I was already born, not in a different lifetime, not a different generation, after I was already born. So women, let's not take for granted the freedoms we have. Thank you.
Why are all lady MPs requesting to welcome students? And we have very substantive business to transact. The Honorable Catherine Omanyo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Welcome, Ogande girls. All these empty seats, you mark which one will be yours soon. Kindly, yeah? You have no excuse of failing because you have the best of the best, the role models from your county. You have a bad girl here, Millie, another bad one, Gladys, another one, Dr. Eve Obara, Lillian Gogo, you know, Bensouda, you know, the Opuk. So you just need to keep scoring and score. Your score must be genius because the bar has been so raised so high for you. I just don't know. Keep going up until you overtake the bad girl seated just on my right side. But welcome to Parliament. It doesn't need a lot of thinking. Simple ways, no formula, just target to be here.
The
prefect is disturbing.
Naisula Lesuda, are you standing up to welcome Uganda girls because it is the school of Dr. Ida Betty Odinga, or because it is the best school of the Speaker?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, I can see your excitement. And thank you also for giving us this opportunity. And I had met you earlier in the day, and you were very excited that the school was coming here, but I'm seeing also there are other many schools. I welcome them to Parliament. And yes, Her Excellency, Ida, is a great educationist. She's done a lot in many of our schools. In my own constituency, Kisima Mixed, she has sponsored children. She's done for us, she's equipped a dormitory. She's done a lot of good work in this country. And so, yes, welcome. I just want to say something. I am elected in a constituency called Samburu West. I'm serving my second term as elected, third because I was also nominated. I want to tell you girls who are here, the women you see here have broken all the barriers for you. There is no barrier. We are the ones who are ready. We've been called all names. We have knocked all doors. For you, it is just to pass those doors and go up there. And so just look at these women, and that is why sometimes some of us are okay to be called all manner of names, to be told you can't lead, so that the ones who are behind us will find that we have opened doors for them. And so you have no excuse, my dear sisters. And for the boys, please catch up with us because the girls are going very, very far. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so that the boys in the house do not feel left out. The Honorable Karoli Omondi. Please, the Honorable female MPs in the house are forgetting the boys are also in the Speaker's gallery. Could you welcome them to the house?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. As a matter of fact, I think I used to cause more happiness to the girls of Ogandi Girls High School when we visited them on outings as a student in Homa Bay High School when I was there. You see? And the ladies have spoken quite a lot, but they did not say in Ogandi, they say, go forth in faith. Correct? Yes.
That should tell you I used to visit there. And I had very many friends. I take this opportunity to warmly welcome you and to acknowledge the good history of the school, not just of Ogandi, but also of Kapsabet Junior. I think Kapsabet has already produced a president. The late President Moi went there. And Ogandi girls, we have Mama Ida Odinga. And I think the library is well done. And I normally pass there, and I will be there on Saturday doing 21-kilometer run. Thank you very much. God bless you.
The Honorable Pasaris, I know you will not forgive me if you didn't welcome Uganda girls to Nairobi, your county. Please do so in exactly a minute so that we can go back to business.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. First of all, I would like to say welcome to all the students that are here. And you know, I really like what Honorable Karoli Omondi said. Go forth in faith. In faith. I have a feeling that that is what our girls should do when the boys come across. Because when the boys come across, remember, girls, you will end up pregnant. So when they come, just say, go forth in faith. Because we're here to study. We're here to study. So it shows that they were always trying to tune you from a very early stage. So I want you to focus on your study because it is important. It is the only thing that will actually inspire you to make a better life for yourselves tomorrow and for your families. So focus on your studies and work very, very hard. And we want, there's no point of order. Go forth in faith. Okay?
The Honorable Karoli, what is out of order?
Honorable Speaker, I agree with the advice of go forth in faith. But Honorable Pasaris is forgetting Jesus Christ was conceived in faith by divine visitation. So her statement may not be very accurate. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Pasaris, correct your statement and conclude.
Yes, I still want to tell my girls to focus on their studies. We don't want you to become a statistics in terms of teenage pregnancies. We want you to be educated and to end up actually being able to provide for yourself.
Out of order?
Mr. Speaker, I think you have noticed Honorable Karoli is exceptionally excited today. Can he declare his interest that he used to have a girlfriend in Ogale Girls in his days?
Honorable Karoli.
Honorable Speaker, some things because of now time
yes,
and the extended networks that we now have, we like to keep them covered. But I can only confess she was called Caro. Thank you very much.
Honorable Millie never seeks such clarification. In law, we have a doctrine called res ipsa loquita. The facts speak for themselves. From the very time we saw Honorable Karoli, we knew he had some special relationship with Uganda girls. So Honorable Esther Pasaris, conclude. You want to go back to business?
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I'd also like to welcome them to Nairobi County. I'm the Member of Parliament for Nairobi County, and enjoy the city and remember that we are rooting for you to become the future leaders of tomorrow. Welcome to Nairobi County and welcome to the Parliament of Kenya.
Thank you all members who have welcomed all the visiting institutions to the House. And let me, on my own behalf and on behalf of the National Assembly, welcome them again and wish them well as they engage in their study tour. The Honorable Momanyi Jerusha, the speakers, stood down the matter. It is no longer available for contribution. The Honorable Mishimboko.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, while I appreciate the information, the answers which have been given by the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Transport, Honorable Speaker, I just need some clarity because I feel there is no commitment in the answers which were given as per my questions. Honorable Speaker, for instance, we are told that the Mtongwe mainland RAP, which was completed and added to Kenya Ports Authority, that was in May 2023. which stay there for over 2 years. And yet we don't have the other ramp for the Mtongwe Island ramp. We have not been told how much was budgeted. We have not been told whether that budget is enough for the Mtongwe Island ramp. We are not being told when is the commencement of the construction of the Mtongwe Island ramp, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, earlier during 2023-2024 financial year, we were told that there is budget constraint, and that is why they could not manage to construct the other ramp in the Mtongwe Island. So I was expecting the minister to give us a timeline and to give us a commitment that they are going to finish that Mtongwe Island ramp so that operation of the Mtongwe ferry channel can start, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, also the report mentioned that the MV Jambo's engine is being overhauled and MV Nyari is scheduled for dry docking. What is the specific confirmed timeline for these ferries to be returned to service? Because, Honorable Speaker, you can imagine that we will not have 2 ferries. And if we don't have those 2 ferries, it means we are going to have a very big challenge in terms of pedestrian traffic and even vehicle traffic, Honorable Speaker. So we need to have also a commitment and a specific timeline to tell us, so when are you going to do that, repairs of the 2 ferries, and when are you going to return them for operation, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, also the ministry response said the repair of firefighting, detection and suppression system on several ferries is at the contracting signing stage. So we have not been told when is the signing going to be done. When are they going to award the contracts? When is it going to commence? So, Honorable Speaker, there's so many things which have been said in the response, but there is no commitment, and especially on the timeline. Honorable Speaker, also on the lack of concrete long-term solution. Honorable Speaker, the ministry response mentioned several long-term strategies, including a traffic circulation plan, a pedestrian holding bay, Likoni aerial cable car project with no timelines or funding. So when are they going to commence? Do we have the funding so that the people of Likoni constituency, and not even Likoni constituency, because that channel, even Kata.
Mr. Speaker, sir, it has been done. It's the county responsibility to do this. Kura, Kera, Kenha, and the other authorities are also cutting corners. We have seen a number of flyovers, and there is no other way to go across, no walking facility, not even a cycle lane. We do not note, this thing is becoming ridiculous. If you go to China, Mr. Speaker, sir, as we said, the Far East, these motorcyclists, the cyclists, even in Europe, we have politicians riding bicycles because it's safe. Here, whatever we do to the cycle lane, it is overtaken by non-conformists and those who want to break the law. Mr. Speaker, sir, in this particular act, and I raise it for the sponsor to look at, it does, although it says there's non-motorized vehicles, including bicycle, it does not exclude a bicycle border. A bicycle border is as dangerous as a motorized border. So if you are going to have a cycle lane for cycles, bicycles, wheelchairs, walking lanes, it must exclude the border cyclist who actually goes, carries passengers for money, because they're very rough and they are the ones who will cause the accidents. I was told that it is easy to put up barriers. It's difficult to put up barriers. No, it isn't. All you need to do is to put up a small edge that a vehicle cannot cross over. The other issue that we have, everybody's complained about, is the indiscipline of buses, government vehicles, and others going onto the side of the road. So when if you've got a bicycle lane, one of the wheels is on the bicycle lane and is trying to go through. And I want to bring, Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to bring to your attention the fact that not only the motorcyclists have forgotten and have become the kings of the road, they decide what rules to follow and what not. The others are the government vehicles and our own vehicles, the VIP vehicles. Up here, near Nyayo House, that road is only one way. However, the number of government vehicles and the VIP vehicles that go that way, across the way, to and block traffic is not. It is horrific. Mr. Speaker, sir, we would all like to be cyclists, and it's important that this act is not only an amendment, but it goes backwards and demands from the county governments as well to start putting up bicycle lanes. Let's not restrict ourselves to new roads. We start with the other ones and we take them forward from there. With those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to support with the amendment that I proposed. Thank you very much.
The Honorable Makali Mulu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. Honorable Speaker, I want to join my colleagues in, first of all, appreciating this bill, whose mover is Honorable Risuda, and it's an amendment of the roads bill, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, if you look at the objects of the bill, it is proposing creation of quite a number of lanes. The pedestrian lane, the cyclist lane, in addition to the main lanes where the cars drive on. Honorable Speaker, a lot of the colleagues have said this bill should have actually come many, many years ago. Because anytime you drive on our roads and you see what is happening, you start seeing the need for this bill. Honorable Speaker, a lot of us have traveled outside this country. And some of the countries we have gone to are not even very advanced countries. They're either our level or even below our level. And when you look at the design of the roads, it is very impressive. About a month ago, I was in Rwanda, Honorable Speaker. And that is a country, as a pedestrian, anytime you walk, Speaker, you are so sure that you will reach wherever you are going safely. Because you have a separate lane for the pedestrian, and nobody bothers you when you are there. You are just walking. The only person who meets there is your fellow human being. But here, Honorable Speaker, you realize that even as you drive on our roads, there is nothing called order, you know. Pedestrians are crossing all over the place. Motorists are crossing, that is the motorcyclists. And even bicycles, Honorable Speaker. So at times you are focusing on the car ahead of you, Honorable Speaker. And then all of a sudden, a motorist is crossing. And you know there are some, Honorable Speaker, who have no discipline. They run as if they are doing 100 meters, Honorable Speaker. So by the time you realize this is happening, you see somebody's already been knocked down. And if you look at the statistics, Honorable Speaker, it actually confirms that we have a problem. The number of people we are losing through accidents, pedestrians, Honorable Speaker, is so high for a country like ours, looking at our population and looking at our economic level, Honorable Speaker. So on that note, Honorable Speaker, then, it means we seriously need to think about creating these additional lanes in our on our roads, so that at the end of the day, Honorable Speaker, we have our pedestrians being safe and the cyclists also being safe, Honorable Speaker. But there's a problem in this country, and this is most of the problem is encroachment of the road reserves, Honorable Speaker. You know, Honorable Speaker, anytime I always ask myself, it looks like by the time God was creating us as Kenyans, land was so scarce that every Kenyan wants land irrespective of where it is, Honorable Speaker. Because We have encroached to our road reserves to an extent that you even have no space to create these additional lanes. And that is going to be one of the challenges. And to make things worse, Honorable Speaker, you realize that even those who have encroached and they know it is government land, they will still be demanding compensation. Now, you want government to compensate you for government land. And any attempt to enforce so that you push these people out of the road, then it is always becoming very political. If it is in towns, you find our MCs are saying you can't touch this land, and our fellow MPs here are saying you can't touch this land, and they know it is government land. So I think as a house, we need to agree that if we need to create these additional lanes, the first thing we need to do is to ensure that government land which has been encroached by either the land grabbers, Honorable Speaker, is released for that purpose. The other thing we need to do, Honorable Speaker, we need also to challenge our designers, Honorable Speaker, because I cannot believe that some of the countries I go to and I see the way the roads have been designed, I cannot believe that our own designers cannot match that standard, Honorable Speaker. Kenyans, we pride ourselves to be very educated, Honorable Speaker, and we have serious engineers in this country. I always ask myself, is it that they don't know? Is it that they don't want? Or is it that the budget doesn't allow to get such roads? But all said and done, Honorable Speaker, the sooner we get these lanes, additional lanes to our roads, the better for our country. And I like what Honorable Shakila said, that it doesn't have to be, it is not very expensive because you don't have to put the footpath for pedestrians, doesn't have in terms of quality, doesn't have to match the quality of where the cars will be driving on. Because a human being, I don't think anybody can go up to 200 kg. Hardly can we have a human being going up to 200 kg. So, Honorable Speaker, it means we could actually get this at a very convenient cost. In that case, it will help, and more so for the cities. Now we have quite a number of cities. We have Nairobi, we have Nakuru, we have Eldoret, we have Mombasa. We can start with the cities and then move to the other towns which are upcoming. In that case, we'll be helping our people and we'll reduce the statistics in terms of those who are dying as a result of being either knocked down by vehicles or any other accidents happening in our roads. Because once you separate the pedestrians, the cyclists and the motorists, automatically you reduce the number by almost to a very low percentage, Honorable Speaker. And that will be good for this country because you'll have our people living longer and being able to participate in economic activities. So with these many remarks, Honorable Speaker, I once more want to thank Honorable Resuda for this bill and say that I will be supporting this bill, and I urge your colleagues to support this bill so that we can now have these lanes constructed. But also, when it comes to budgeting, Honorable Speaker, we also need to provide more resources in terms of budget so that we have the money to construct the lanes. I support, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Yeah, those who have been questioning why Clause 9 states what it states, if you listen to Honorable Dr. Makali Mulu, you now understand. It's a lot of, land acquisition and reclaim to be done if we are to realize this as intended. The Honorable Robert Basil.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to contribute to this particular amendment bill. Allowed me from onset to thank my friend and the Honorable Naisula Lesuda for actually bringing this amendment number 31 of 2024 to allow cycling lanes as well as pedestrian walkways, Mr. Speaker. This particular bill amendment reminds me of a very renowned author, Kenny Walibora, who actually authored the book Siku Njema. This gentleman died because of lack of pedestrian walkways, because he was knocked down, and that is how he met his death. So we lost a very serious brain in this country because of lack of walkways. I also happen to know a very renowned lawyer by the name Aja Olubai, who was also hit when crossing Thika Road because there are no pedestrian walkways, Mr. Speaker. So it is very clear, Mr. Speaker, this bill is very critical because it manages accidents that are occasioned by absence of cycling lanes as well as pedestrian walkways, Mr. Speaker. If you go to Festival, Mr. Speaker, you'll agree with me that their engineers do factor this when designing their roads. But our engineers, unfortunately, they don't consider this, Mr. Speaker. So there are so many benefits that we can derive or that we can get by having cycling lanes as well as pedestrian walkways, Mr. Speaker. And to mention just a few, Mr. Speaker, one of it is actually health-related benefits. We have lifestyle diseases like obesity, high blood pressure, and many more that could be actually be reduced by having people to walk, promoting a healthy society where people can walk by providing pedestrian walkways as well as cycling lanes, Mr. Speaker. Mental well-being can be boosted because of that, Mr. Speaker. Other very critical benefit, Mr. Speaker, is reduction of air pollution. Emission of carbon monoxide and among other gases that are emitted by vehicles will be reduced significantly, Mr. Speaker, if we allow for cycling lanes, pedestrian walkways, because people will be less dependent on vehicles. And these will be benefits. They would be critical to this country, also to mitigate effects of climate change that are occasioned by greenhouses because of emissions from cars, Mr. Speaker. Importantly, Mr. Speaker, by having this bill amended, we are going to reduce transport costs because some people can actually walk to work. And if you walk to work, because that provision is given by having safe pedestrian walkways, safe cycling lanes, then the costs associated with the paying exorbitant bus fares, as well as having to drive your cars to work, all these will be reduced. And that will be very significant cost reduction, particularly while understanding the increased cost of living in this country, Mr. Speaker. So it is important to make amendment to this bill. This should have been done way before, as some of my previous speakers did say, Mr. Speaker. Additionally, Mr. Speaker, there is social benefits associated with the provision of cycling lanes as well as walkways. People can talk, you can have interactions. Even those who want to do dating can do that while walking. So there is so much to be generated by providing cycling lanes as well as pedestrian walkways. We have seen it elsewhere in other countries where there is a lot of social cohesion. We have been hearing undivided country, and we have witnessed recently with aggressions coming from Gen Zs as well as people who are completely not happy with the stress that has been brought about by lack of social interactions, which could be provided for by having cycling lanes as well as pedestrian walkways, Mr. Speaker. Importantly, Mr. Speaker, road congestion. We see the madness in this country. When you come to Nairobi, you even wonder, is this really a city that we say it is the economic powerhouse within East and Central Africa? A city where many people would want to come. The gateway to Africa, Mr. Speaker. But the madness we see, congestion in the roads, matatus overlapping, etc., no provision where people could actually walk, where people could cycle. So there is so much that we can benefit by having amendment in this bill, Mr. Speaker. And that's why I don't mince my words by saying I fully support this amendment. I'm also having my personal amendment, which I think is on the way coming, to reduce congestion we see in police stations, Mr. Speaker. So I think once I bring the amendments and we pass the same amendments, then we are going to bring some sanity in this country and have a country we can be proud of, as well as a city we can enjoy to live. With those few, I submit and I support, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Emmanuel Wangwe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to first and foremost appreciate my colleague, the Honorable Lesuda, for thinking wise, such that she has come up with this good bill. Honorable Speaker, whereas Honorable Lesuda is addressing the gist of the bill, allow me to go straight on the benefits that will accrue should this bill be enabled into law. Honorable Speaker, many times people have mistaken cycling to poverty. Allow me to say it's not poverty. Cycling instead, Honorable Speaker, is going to ease the life skill diseases upon body works. Once you work out on a cycle, Honorable Speaker, be it that you are diabetic, you have high blood pressure, but you keep your body in motion, it's not the same. It's no longer the same. Unlike somebody seated in a V8, Honorable Speaker, and having blood pressure or any life skill diseases, Honorable Speaker, he is increasing the chances of his danger to his life. But when you cycle, Honorable Speaker, the body works out. The benefit to it, Honorable Speaker, is measurable to your life. You enjoy and you live longer. Honorable Speaker, that is why many a times, for those of us who have been able to go to China, when you are lighting at all station, Honorable Speaker, the first thing you see is how many cycles are coming out of that place. So many, and the Chinese live well because they keep their bodies in workout. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, first and foremost, let us all Kenyans come out of the issue that cycling is a sign of poverty. It's a sign of keeping your body strong. Honorable Speaker, I also want to look at the benefit that will come with it in terms of the costing. Moving from Upper Hill to town while cycling, Honorable Speaker, it could take you close to nothing, no cost at all. Wear and tear of rubber could almost be minimal. And in a month, totally, there will be no cost, Honorable Speaker. Unlike today, by you coming from Upper Hill to town, there is the time factor because of the traffic jam. There is the issue of wear and tear on the machine that you are going to use. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, it's going to ease your ability to access from one corner to another without necessarily, Honorable Speaker, costing you in terms of time and money. Honorable Speaker, there is also the issue of the cost of land. What is it that gives appetite to land grabbers, Honorable Speaker? Land grabbers simply come in when the land is available. When they see there is the Kenya National, Kenha, for example, has not utilized the pavements well, the land grabber will simply move in. If we make this into law, Honorable Speaker, the highway, the edge of the highway, where the land of Kenha touches at the last edge of the corner, can we put there a walkway or a way through which cyclists will use? Nobody will come to grab that land, Honorable Speaker, now that the land will be in use. So we are going to make use of the highways. And Honorable Speaker, if you go along from Nairobi to Western, through Nakuru, all that vast land is just open. And you will find that accessibility to land grabbing comes about. Honorable Speaker, what is it that is happening with our population? Our population is on the rise. We are rising in population, both urban and rural. We no longer have to say this is a rural population or this is an urban population, Honorable Speaker. Wherever we are, we look at our population as being on the increase, be it going to school, be it going to the market, be it, Honorable Speaker, going to church. We need to move from one place to another. And Honorable Speaker, motorizing is not the solution, but cycling, Honorable Speaker, will be the ultimate solution, such that we look at our population. It will be easier to work with one or two bicycles in a family to move from one place to another at minimal cost. Finally, Honorable Speaker, what is the impact of westernization on use of a bicycle, Honorable Speaker? Westernization, Honorable Speaker, many a times we look at Kenya and saying we want to drive a V8 engine or a V6 engine, Honorable Speaker. You and I travel. How many V6 engines will you see in London? Paltry, you will not see many V6 engines in London. Meaning, Honorable Speaker, the West has already embraced low-cost living on a good surface. The thing is, Honorable Speaker, and why I appreciate this bill, is going to build the infrastructure from the word go. Let us have good infrastructure. Let us not say we are riding a bicycle on a Maram road. Let us ride a bicycle, Honorable Speaker, on a tarmac road, a good surface, and we'll embrace it. So westernization, Honorable Speaker, has already taught us how are we going to behave when these bicycles are put in place. Meaning we are going to adopt it and we are going to move on well. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I support this bill.
The Honorable Julius Meli, the MP for Tinderet.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to laud the Honorable Member for Samburu, Honorable Lesuda, for this very, very progressive bill. I would say that this bill, Honorable Speaker, is actually timely and very important. That this country is one of the countries that are well developed in this region, actually cannot be said more than that. But one of the things that we can see in our roads, Honorable Speaker, and I want to say that with the creation of the three agencies, Kenya Roads, Kenya Rural Roads, Kenya Urban Roads, and Kenya Highways, and more importantly, the main one, the Kenya Roads Board, actually, one of the things that the three agencies have failed to really put in place is the issue of non-motorized individuals. These individuals, or the non-motorized sections of the road used by pedestrians, used by cyclists, used by carts, the cart users, those who pull the carts. Honorable Speaker, our roads in this country are the most dangerous in several parts, compared to several parts of this region. Kenya prides itself with a well-developed road network in East African region, but it is also a country full of disorder. Honorable Speaker, you will realize that Kenha, Kera, and Kura have done very good roads, paved roads in the cities, but they have not had a consideration for the cyclist, for the pedestrian. And in fact, sometimes the motorist interferes even with the pedestrian work. That's why I would request and I will propose that we also need to introduce very serious penalties on those individuals who actually cross into the walkways, who cross into the cyclist ways, and more importantly, who even disregard traffic rules. And from this bill, Honorable Speaker, I think this time the traffic department within the police office has to enforce the laws. The road carnage we have in the country is at another level. Get the motorists or the matatu users, get the motorcycle users, they ride in every direction. And even the vehicles used by government officers, and I would say even as members of parliament, we are culprits on this. It is important that let the rule of law prevail, not only for any other person, but for every citizen in the country. I want to say that the bill especially is asking that all road users, all road contractors are supposed to put very legible road signs. I'm using the word legible, Honorable Speaker, to note that some contractors, out of saving money, put substandard walkways. At times, the quality of the tarmac on the walkways is very low, and they wear out very fast. Two, even the road walls, even the road signs, even at times, they even disregard the construction of the walkways because of trying to save and make profits. By actually bringing this particular bill, Honorable Speaker, I think it's also important on the implementation and in the implementing agencies and the implementation committee to ensure that what the bill is actually asking and what the regulations are going to be put in place by the minister are followed to the latter. Honorable Speaker, you'll realize that even the flora and fauna in the city, even the grass, even the flowers are trampled upon by lack of walkways. The cyclists and everyone along the city, and our city has been known to be the green city in the sun, but today it is one of the most dusty city around. And that's why I'm asking that let us make sure that let's provide the walkway. Cycling is very healthy. It is not, a bicycle is not for a poor man's means of transport. It is very healthy for us. And by the end of the day, Honorable Speaker, if we are going to restrict to have cyclists moving on those particular paths and we take care of them, even it will reduce road carnage, it will even reduce the diseases that are caused by lifestyle diseases. So, Honorable Speaker, this is a very important bill. I support it. And in fact, Honorable Speaker, I shall be proposing even amendment to this, especially on penalties that shall ensure on individuals that are not going to follow the bill. And more importantly, on governments, especially municipal governments, like our municipal government in Nairobi here and other cities, where they have left roads to disrepute, to dilapidate. Where there were existing roads, we need to put them in place and ensure that this bill is implemented. But I have a question to the Honorable Member about the constitutional laws, the 15 years. Yes, so I will request that we have it brought down if need be, because 15 years is too long. It will not be very expensive to put up these walkways within the first few years, and we can be able to implement it and make our roads safer and of better use. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable Eric Muchangi, MP for Unyanjas.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And from the onset, let me say that I support this bill and wish to thank the Honorable Naisula Lesuda for sponsoring this very important bill. And I still thank her for her consistency in sponsoring bills in this House. There's a lot that we have learned from her as young members of Parliament, matters to do with sponsoring bills in this House. Honorable Speaker, as I have said, this is a very progressive bill, and it is futuristic, because I believe many of us have traveled out of the country and have seen what developed nations have done with their roads, and especially to do with planning. Because for the longest time, Honorable Speaker, motorcyclists have been harassed on the road severally by other road users until they are discouraged. I believe with the introduction of cycling lanes, we will have more people interested in cycling because they will not be harassed on the roads, and their lives will not be put at risk by the other road users, especially vehicles. Because the accidents that we have witnessed on the roads, Honorable Speaker, are very many, arising from this harassment, and some road users imagining that they have more, or rather they have more authority on the road than cyclists. So, Honorable Speaker, going forward, we would like to see, and especially in major cities, which are very congested with a lot of people, we would like to see roads being constructed with cycling lanes provided. So, Honorable Speaker, I support this because it also has health benefits. Because now when more people cycle, more people will exercise, and then it has a lot of benefit in terms of health. So, Honorable Speaker, I support.
The Honorable Harold Kipchumba Kimuge is recognized to make his maiden contribution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Although this should not be my maiden speech, I just want to contribute towards this amendment bill. On the onset, I want to congratulate Honorable Naisula for considering this bill. And I just want to be specific to the benefits that we, persons with disabilities, and those people who are maybe temporarily need to use crutches, wheelchairs, and stretchers, need to benefit. From the onset, access to safe, inclusive, and well-designed infrastructure is not a privilege. It is a basic right. For us, we use crutches and wheelchairs. Features such as sidewalks, ramps, and non-motorized roads are not conveniences. They are essential. They bring dignity to our lives. They give us independence, and it brings equality. Mr. Speaker, sir, many years ago when I was a pupil at Nile Road Special School in Ofafa, Jericho, that is in 1970, 71, 2, many of us with disabilities were able to move around because the roads were either not populated, but were well designed. There were spaces. But right now, 60 years, 50 years down the line, there are fewer persons with disabilities in our streets because of the designs of our roads. Many gaping holes, barriers, and ramps don't exist. And therefore, I'm in support of this amendment bill, for it shall improve accessibility and allowing individuals who use wheelchairs, crutches, or other mobility aids to move freely and confidently. These facilities, while in place, will help us access schools, workplaces, markets, and health services. They'll open doors for more of users of disability to go to school, to access education, get to place of work, and even reach out for healthcare. It empowers us to be independent when the infrastructure is available for us to move freely and independently. Mr. Speaker, sir, lastly, inclusive infrastructure is not a charity. It's an act of justice. If we build our cities, our towns, our villages to be accessible to everybody, there'll be no one left behind. And therefore that will bring us on board as fair competitors in our country. I support, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable Rashid Betsimba.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii ambayo pia mimi niweze kuchangia kwa mswada huu wa marekebisho. Kwa kweli Mheshimiwa Spika, nimesimama kuunga mkono mswada huu. Kwa ukweli barabara zote ambazo barabara zetu nyingi katika nchi hazijakamilika kuwa barabara. Kwa sababu barabara isiyokuwa na nafasi ya watembeaji wa maguu, watembeaji walemavu, wanaotumia baiskeli za ulemavu, wanaotumia baiskeli, hiyo barabara haijakamilika. Kwa ukweli barabara zetu Mheshimiwa Spika nyingi ziko na si pana, na hiyo inasababisha msongamano wa magari na wananchi wanatembea pamoja katika sehemu za barabara, na hiyo husababisha ajali nyingi sana. Kwa sababu hapa kwetu ajali nyingi zinapatikana kwa sababu ya upana wa barabara hakuna. Ukitembea sehemu zote katika ulimwengu, barabara haiwezi jengwa kabla ya kuwa na imekamilishwa kwamba kuna nafasi ya watu kutembea na baiskeli. Lakini hapa kwetu tunatenga fedha, barabara mtu anajenga, ni barabara tu ya basi ya magari kwenda, lakini si wote ambao wako na magari. Watu wengi pia hata wenye magari wanapenda kutembea kwa maguu. Lakini hakuna nafasi ya kutembea kwa maguu. Hata ukimwachilia mtoto wako kutoka shule, una wasiwasi mpaka aweze kufika nyumbani. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Spika, ni kwamba ni lazima kuanzia sasa, hata hii marekebisho yangefanywa haraka ili ipitishwe, ili kusudi kuanzia sasa barabara zote ambazo zinajengwa sasa, kwa sababu Mheshimiwa Rais ametoa agizo za barabara nyingi zijengwe. Hizo zinazojengwa sasa lazima ziwe na nafasi hiyo ya kwamba watu wanatembea kwa mguu na wale wa baskeli na wale wenye viatu vya utelezi, kwa sababu kuna vijana sasa hawapendi kupanda magari, wanatumia viatu vya utelezi, lakini hawana mahali pa kutembelea, wanatembea barabarani na hiyo husababisha ajali. Na vile vile Mheshimiwa Spika, barabara zetu hazina alama zinazoelekeza jinsi ya kutumia taratibu za hiyo barabara. Inatakaniwa ziwe na alama kuonesha hapa ni baiskeli inatembea hapa, kwa hivyo mtu wa maguu pia hawezi kutembea. Hapa ni mtu wa maguu, kwa hivyo mtu wa baiskeli pia hawezi kutembea hapo. Kwa hivyo barabara zetu zote si kutia lami tu, ni kuhakikisha umeweka na alama kwamba mtu akipita najua hapa nilipo ni mahali ambako mimi nafaa kutembea, na hiyo itapunguza ajali nyingi. Hiyo itatusababisha kwamba mtu hata akija anaona kwamba sisi tumejipanga, badala kujenga barabara alafu rudi tena barabara ujenge tena hiyo kwa kupoteza tena fedha zingine. Iwe ile tenda ya kwanza, zabuni inayotoka kwanza, iwe imerekebisha kwamba barabara ya kutembea kwa miguu, kwa baiskeli, kwa sababu barabara zetu hazina urafiki na walemavu. Barabara zetu hazina urafiki kabisa. Unakuta kule ambako watu wanatembea na maguu kuna mashimo ambayo mahandaki ambayo maji yanapita chini, drainage inapita chini, hayajazibwa. Sasa mlemavu atatembea namna gani? Watoto wa shule wakitoka inakuwa ni hatari. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nimesimama kuunga mkono kwamba hiyo taratibu iweze kuwekwa maanani na ianze mara moja. Asante.
The Honorable Mishi Mboko. May I request we conscript?
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. And I really thank you for giving me this opportunity, because I want to appreciate my sister, Honorable Naisula, for bringing this amendment bill, which is overdue. Honorable Speaker, I want to strongly support this bill, 2024, and I'm supporting it because of a clause that says all roads must be safe and fair for everyone. Because what we are seeing right now, it is like the roads have just been built for those who own cars or those who use cars, and not the walkers and the cyclists, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, according to World Bank 2019 study says over 70% of Kenyans walk or cycles daily. That means there must be a safe lane or a road which is safe for them, so that at least they don't face the dangerous accident which we see every day in our roads, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to support this bill because it will make our roads to be fair and safe, giving our people the respect they deserve, Honorable Speaker, because for so long time we have neglected the pedestrian, especially the walkers and those who are cyclists and people with disability, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, you need to note that our roads, most of them in our country, they are 1 lane or 2 lanes, Honorable Speaker, and they are always very, very busy. So, Honorable Speaker, you can imagine a road which is only 1 lane or rather 2 lanes, and we have those who are walking, we have those who are cycling, and we have those who are using vehicles. So it is really chaotic, Honorable Speaker, and it is very dangerous, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this bill will also require all new roads and big roads repairs to include special lanes for walkers and cyclists, Honorable Speaker. And this lane, as we said, they must be designed in a way that even those persons with disability who are using their bicycles, they should also be able to use these lanes, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this bill talks about updating the design and the rules in terms of design for our roads. The roads we're having right now, they have to be changed, and the future roads, they also need to have the designs. And the designs need to have uniformity of the design, the standard of the lanes for non-motorized transport, Honorable Speaker. That is the pedestrians, those who are walking, and those who are cycling, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I support this because it will force road planners to care about the majority who walk. Because today, Those who own car or those who use cars, there are very few in our country. Most of the people, they prefer walking. Most of the people, they prefer cycling, Honorable Speaker. So at least the planners are going to be forced to ensure that they care for the majority, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, also I'm so shocked just to note that 48% of Kenyans' road death are pedestrian. So it means this bill will ensure that we minimize the death cases of the pedestrian, Honorable Speaker. And the 2019 World Bank study show over 70% of Kenyans walk or cycle daily. On a daily basis, you can imagine, Honorable Speaker. I'm just looking, Honorable Speaker, even on the ferries, where it is in the Nyanza region, in Coast region, where we use the ferries. And it's unfortunate that we don't have marking or other lanes to show these lanes belong to those having cars and these lanes belong to those who are cycling and those who are walking. And that is why you see even most of the time we have some accident even in the ferry. So it is also high time not only on the roads but also in this ferry, because we are using them every day. We should have those marks, or rather put like a lane, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to say that we are going to save lives of Kenyans, especially on the crowded streets. We are going to have special lanes which are marked for walkers and cyclists, Honorable Speaker. My colleague, Honorable Bezimba, has said not only putting the lane, but also putting the safe marks, like the zebra crossing. Not all roads that they have zebra crossing signs, or rather maybe they have places where, like when you go to other countries, I was in Dubai the other time, and I saw that there are areas where they're marked. If you just walk through those areas, no car will hit you, because it is a rule, and every person who is driving need to obey those rules, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, also I want to say that I support this because it is a simple, proven, fixed, separate lanes for walkers. It is just fixing, because we already have the infrastructure. And in future, the infrastructure we're going to put in terms of road, it is just to ensure that we fix those lanes for walkers so that we reduce accidents worldwide, and it will also tackle Kenya's high pedestrian deaths, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, because of other business, I just want to end it here, and I want to say I congratulate my sister for this bill.
The Honorable John Kagushia.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to start by congratulating the Honorable Lesuda for having brought such a useful bill to the House. And Honorable Speaker, I want to agree with the rest of the contributors to this bill that majority of Kenyans are road users and of course pedestrians and cyclists. Honorable Speaker, it is interesting that over the years we have invested so much money to take care of the minority of Kenyans who use the highways through their vehicles. Honorable Speakers, the amount of money, the colossal amount of money that we have invested in that should make us a bit embarrassed that with a country where we are looking at bringing the people who are at the low levels of our economy to a higher level, we ignore them year in, year out, such that when we are designing our main highways, we are not considering them at all. Honorable Speaker, well-designed roads and walkways will help in improving the comfort, safety, and boost morale of majority of Kenyans. Indeed, the 70% that is using the footpaths. Honorable Speaker, it will also be noted that walking and cycling to work also improves our fitness, our health, and definitely also improves the mental health of our people. This, if well taken care of, Honorable Speaker, is going to improve the morale of our citizens. It's going to help the mental well-being of our people, and the depression that we are seeing and witnessing today is going to be a thing of the past. Honorable Speaker, when we are talking about making these
walkways, we must also make them very comfortable. And so I'm proposing that we're also going to be planting trees along the walkways. We also install benches so that those who are walking and they get tired can be able to take a rest at times and also walk under the cover of the shades of our trees that we are going to plant by the walkways. Honorable Speaker, for this to work, we must also improve on the general well-being of our infrastructure. You will take note that most of the roads that we are using today have open manholes. They have open trenches and drainage pits. And so for us to encourage citizens to walk and make it comfortable for them, in this resource mobilization to support this bill, which I believe, as many other members have put, we should not give it such a long duration of time to be implemented, up to 15 years. It should be reduced probably to half that period. We ensure that the manholes are all covered and all the open trenches and drainages are all covered to ensure that our people do not get hurt along the way. Honorable Speaker, you also realize, yes, we are passing this bill, but do we have the spaces? Do we have the road reserves necessary to do this? And the answer is good as your thoughts are. Many areas and many spaces have already been grabbed. They have been encroached. They have been stolen. And so, one of the riders that we must also put here is to ensure that we reclaim all the stolen and encroached spaces so that we can return it back to the public for public use. As I conclude, Honorable Speaker, if you just take a walk to Mombasa Road, at the junction of Mombasa Road and Cabanas, where the Eastern Bypass begins, at around 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., you'll be very surprised and very shocked as to the masses and masses of people who are walking across that road. And you see, they walk squeezing themselves in between cars, in between the cars and the walls, and it's such a pathetic situation. And yet, the road users, we are all stuck again in traffic. Why? Because the road users and the motor vehicles are all using the same road, and so they are all playing cat and mouse along the road. And for that reason, again, we all get stuck in the traffic. Honorable Speaker, if you go to Mukurweini town today, you realize that between Mukurweini town and Wakulima Dairy and the Mukurweini Level 4 Hospital, we have very many people who walk along that road. But do they have somewhere to walk? They don't. Between Mukurweini town and Muheto Primary School, again, is the same problem that we encounter. If you go to Gikondi, you will find from Gikondi Shopping Center to Mukurweini Technical, because we have many students who are schooling there and they are walking along that road. It's always full of students. And sometimes you imagine, maybe we ought to have invested much more money on the walk path than we probably have done. And so I am here to strongly support this bill so that it can help us solve this old age problem in our country. And so that now we can be able to put our thoughts, our resources, where it matters most, where we have the population. Of course, Honorable Speaker, the very last point. Sometimes I imagine, instead of investing so much on these expressways where we are moving vehicles, we probably need to invest a little bit more on mass carriages like light rail and express lanes for buses, so that we can carry the masses from point A to point B, rather than carry one or two people in one vehicle who are able to pay for the usage of that expressway. We need to rethink and we need to put our mind back to the people, back to the masses, back to the people at the low echelons of our society. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity to make my contribution. Thank you.
The Honorable Moses Kirima will be followed by the Honorable Mark Mwenje. Then the mover will reply. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity to contribute to this important bill. First and foremost, I congratulate Honorable Isuda for considering this bill at this right time. Mine is to say, Honorable Speaker, that having an experience as an advocate and having been in the court corridors for a period of about 25 years, I can sincerely say that pedestrians really contribute to a number of accidents in the Republic of Kenya. And when they are given their own lane to walk on and to avoid motorists, is one of the best things can be done to the Kenyan citizens. For the last 2 years, the fatal accidents which have been taking place in our roads, mainly about 70% was pertaining the pedestrians. And these people are not regarded as really ordinary human beings when it comes to motorists on the road. They just don't even give them a chance to cross. But to me, the current menace we have now is the bonders. When it comes to, if something can be that is that I have just come a little bit late. If I had come in time, I could have recommended we go further and hand a lane for bonders, because as they are now, they are really becoming a problem in the Kenyan roads. They are very good people. They are doing good business. They are carrying out smart business. They are really they are making a living with those bonders. But when it comes to management on the road, it's a really a hectic issue. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, this bill is timely. I support it, and all what is there is that should not ignore that this is a money bill, and it should be given the consideration it deserves. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you.
The Honorable Mark Mwenje now.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me congratulate the mover of the motion, the sponsor of the motion, the Honorable Naisula Lesuda, for a job well done. Honorable Speaker, as a member of Parliament from Nairobi, I'd like to bring it to your attention that we have about 6 to 7 million people in Nairobi during the day. And that number is set to even increase. It means we have a huge number of people moving and transacting. We are kidding ourselves, Honorable Speaker, if we think that all these people will be moved by public transport and their own personal vehicles, including the trains. It is not sufficient. Honorable Speaker, my constituency, Embakasi West, lies on the east side of Nairobi, and I can tell you we have people who walk every single day to work. People from Eastlands use two major routes. They use either Juja Road, or through Mathare and Kamukunji, or they use Jogoo Road. Honorable Speaker, these two specific roads do have walkways, but at times these walkways are insufficient. They cannot accommodate the number of people walking. So at times you will find people walking actually on the main carriageway, Honorable Speaker. We have other smaller routes that are faster, that can help you get to town, Honorable Speaker, and get to other places. Honorable Speaker, these specific routes don't have walkways. Even some of the major roads that have been done by Kenya and Kura here in Nairobi, Honorable Speaker. For instance, you have Kangundo Road, which is in my constituency. You won't find a proper walkway on it because the same place where has been graded that you think pedestrians would be walking there is where matatus stop during this time in the evening, during rush hour. That's where the matatus are trying to escape the traffic. So it means we've never considered this city of Nairobi and the country in general, that there are people who walk. We build our roads based on the fuel levy that we are collecting. So we look at motorized transport, we look at the cars, we look at the borders and everybody, but nobody thinks about the people who are walking. People from low income in this country, Honorable Speaker, here in Nairobi, all over, prefer to walk to their places of work. And Honorable Speaker, if we are going to get our country to the level of other developed countries, modern cities, we must develop walkways. Honorable Speaker, you go to Singapore, you go to Malaysia, you go to Kuala Lumpur, they've created walkways. Now, Honorable Speaker, in Malaysia, temperatures can hit even up to 40, 45 degrees, the humidity. They've created walkways that are even air conditioned to ensure that their people are walking there. If you go to cities such as New York, you go to London, you go to Cape Town, just down here, go even to Dar es Salaam, because they've done some beautiful walkways there. So this is the way of the future. People walk, people cycle. The Prime Minister of Belgium cycles to get to work. Honorable Speaker, if members of parliament are to try and cycle to work, they can cycle, but where are they going to cycle? They'll probably be knocked down by vehicles and matatus on their way here, Honorable Speaker. So we must think the way the other countries have thought in the 20th century, in the 21st century. We must think of that. Honorable Speaker, we must think of reducing pollution. How do we reduce pollution? By making our people walk. Traffic, Honorable Speaker. You know, there's a concept of park and walk that exists in the UK, in the US and other countries. You park your vehicle in one place and you either catch a bus or you decide to walk. That is what we must encourage in this country, Honorable Speaker. And more importantly, Honorable Speaker, there'll be a lot of disposable income if we allow Kenyans to walk. If it is safer to walk, people will have more money in their pockets, they'll save from fuel and all these other things, taking their cars to garages, mechanics. So there is so much that will be achieved if we spend a little bit more to ensure there are walkways around our country, around the roads that are being done. And I believe this bill is so timely that in the budget for 2025-2026, any plan that is being put forth to build any new roads, let them have walkways. With that, Honorable Speaker, I support. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
There being no more interest to contribute, the mover will now reply.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I can see a colleague across the aisle who would like to contribute, so I'll give him even just 2 minutes, Honorable Speaker.
Under the standing orders as they are, no donation is permitted.
I think I can. Oh, go ahead.
The Speaker.
Okay, I've heard you, Speaker.
The Speaker, proceeding under standing order, number 1, grants you leave to say something, but it is not practice. So you can proceed. Give him the mic.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I accept and I believe that the issue of walkways is an issue that should have been addressed a long time ago, and I congratulate the mover, Honorable Naisula. In fact, Naisula, Honorable, really knows Nyahururu well, and there's an example of the bridge at Thompson Falls area. The bridge, Honorable Speaker, is so narrow that people from Nyahururu to Mairenya normally pedestrians compete with cars, and they are normally exposed to accidents. And this bill has come at the right time so that such facilities could be expanded so that at least we can save our people from these dangers, because some motorists are notorious in the way they drive. So I just wanted to agree with the mover, and it is the high time that this issue was addressed. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mover.
Thank you very much for that contribution. Mr. Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to most sincerely thank my colleagues who have contributed, who have given their insights, who have given their thoughts into this amendment bill, Mr. Speaker. There are so many of them. I will not be able to name each one of them by name, but just know that I really appreciate your support, and also Honorable Oundo for seconding this amendment bill, Mr. Speaker. Having said that, I just want to say 2 quick things that have come out, Mr. Speaker, actually 3, that during the amendment stage, definitely we'll be looking at the penalties. But also, I just want to say that even if we put very stringent penalties, Mr. Speaker, it is also just about, as I have said many times, that Kenyans will just stop bad manners. It is wrong, it is bad to drive where pedestrians are supposed to walk. You don't even need a penalty. to know that as a driver. We just have to do the right things as a people, Mr. Speaker. The other thing is about trees. You can see Wayaki Way. It used to be beautiful just with trees as you drive, as you walk. But as we were doing that, expanding the road, we cut all the trees. In China, Mr. Speaker, if you cut one tree, either to build a house, to build a road, you will go to jail. And so anyone who cuts a tree, Mr. Speaker, has to plant. That used to be the motto. If you cut one, you plant 2 trees, Mr. Speaker. And that is something that we'll be looking at when we are looking at the amendments. The second thing is about land. There is an obsession of people wanting to build. You know, they look for 100 by 100 meters plots just next to the road, Mr. Speaker. If you travel abroad, you actually exit the highway. Most homes, most shops are not like on the highway, Mr. Speaker. And we must start to think futuristic as a country to know that we need to expand those roads. We need spaces for our roads, Mr. Speaker. The other thing, Mr. Speaker, is that this is not something that is known to us. The designers, we know these things, Mr. Speaker. Most of our Kenyans are the ones designing even for other countries. The same way leather, we were overtaken by other countries, and it is Kenyans who are doing it in Zambia, in other countries, Mr. Speaker. Kenyans know all these things. We just have to do the right thing. And I want also to thank Kenyans who have shown their support, Mr. Speaker. Today, this bill was trending #1 in Kenya, Mr. Speaker, because Kenyans appreciate and they are they are supporting what we've been doing in this house from last week and today. And there's a good friend of mine called Debbie who told me that this bill is so timely and good because she has 5 cyclists in her house, her husband and her 4 sons. And so the Kenyans are really looking forward to this bill passing, and I want to thank my colleagues for their support. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, the issue of manholes, we will definitely look at how we can include it there so that they can all be closed. And finally, by the way, there are also many children who have reached out to me through their parents to say that we should implement this yesterday. Children want to cycle to school, they want to cycle, you know, they want to move from point A to B, and even using their skates because they're tired just sitting in cars in traffic. You see a whole family, everyone is gloomy and upset. But if people, as one of my colleagues said on Robert Basil, people will be more happier, people will be happy, Mr. Speaker, once this is put into place. And so with those very, very many remarks, I just wanted again, lastly, to clarify the issue of 15 years, Mr. Speaker, because it's come up many times. We will be doing an amendment to it because the intention was that we will implement as soon as the president signs for the new roads. But realistically, for all the other roads in Kenya, we can give it 15 years. Because of the budget. But I've been told by Honorable Meli, there's nothing called budget. There is a fuel levy, which is collected every other day, Mr. Speaker. We can do it 10 years, and we will debate when we're doing the third reading and see how many years we can give ourselves as a country so that we get our roads marked, we get the bicycle lanes, and people living with disability also to be able to walk. And so I thank you, my colleagues, and I look forward to engaging with you more as we progress with the bill. Thank you.
Honorable members, I now put the question that the Kenya Roads Board Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 31, of 2024 be now read a second time. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Kenya Roads Act and for connected purposes.
Next order.
Order number 13, consideration of 4th report on the examination of financial statements of selected state corporations.
Move.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that this House adopts the 4th report of the Public Investments Committee on Social Services, Administration and Agriculture on its consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of the following state corporations:
laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 17th October 2024. 1. National Social Security Fund for financial year 2019-2020. B. Communication Authority of Kenya, financial year 2017-2018 and 2018-2019. 3. Child Welfare Society of Kenya, financial year 2014-2015. 4. SACCO Society Regulatory Authority, financial year 2017-2018, 2018-2019, and 2019-2020. And E. Kenya Institute for Policy, Public Policy Research and Analysis, financial year 2014-15, 2015-16, 2016-17, and 2017-18. Honorable Speaker, allow me on the onset to appreciate that our Public Investment Committee on Social Service Administration and Agriculture looks into various sectors as follows. It looks into the sector of agriculture, sector of public administration, sector of health, and sector of social protection. Honorable Speaker, this fourth report of the five institutions, Honorable Speaker, as examined and laid in this document, Honorable Speaker, complies with the State Corporations Act, the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act, and the various acts as follows, Honorable Speaker. The Public Finance Management Act of 2012, the Public Audit Act of 2015, the State Corporations Act 1986, the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act, as I had mentioned, 2015, the National Assembly Standing Orders, and the National Assembly Powers and Privileges Act, Honorable Speaker, of 2017. Honorable Speaker, when looking at the audit of the accounts of these institutions, in summary, Honorable Speaker, we had to look at both the general observations and the individual observations, Honorable Speaker. I want to take the House, Honorable Speaker, through the general, which are cross-cutting observations that cut across all the five parastatals that we examined. Honorable Speaker, in the five parastatals cutting across, there were lack of possession, meaning, Honorable Speaker, a parastatal has the title but doesn't have the land. And also there is, Honorable Speaker, lack of ownership documents of the land, meaning, Honorable Speaker, the agency has the documents, has the land, but doesn't have the documents, Honorable Speaker. In particular, Honorable Speaker, among a few documents, among a few agencies, Honorable Speaker, we have the Child Welfare Society of Kenya and the National Social Security Fund, who do not have title documents for the land. You find, Honorable Speaker, some parcels of land belonging to Child Welfare Society, particularly 16 parcels of land. They don't have the title documents for the years under review. If they have gotten the documents, Honorable Speaker, is after the years under review, Honorable Speaker. We have, Honorable Speaker, the Institute of Public Policy and Research Analysis has a title for the land, Honorable Speaker, but they don't have the land. They cannot access the land because, Honorable Speaker, the Department of Veterinary Services has obstructed access.
The Honorable Emmanuel Wangwe, for how long do you estimate you will move?
I'll definitely take my 30 minutes.
Oh, you'll take 30 minutes?
In the next...
Yeah, so then I'm looking at the clock and I'm worried we may not, achieve the intent of completely moving. And so I see you have consumed 5 minutes of your time.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. You
will have the balance of time when the business will be next scheduled to be This is an ordinary motion. As the clock is telling me 5. How many minutes are remaining? Really?
Yes.
At 9:30 a.m.,